top. Take a breath and make it out of here. Bring me your love, pour it down on me. Let me feel your heart and your energy. Love from above, we living in the glory days. Sun's not enough, no, I need you with me anyways. Shine on me, baby, you make it hard to stay inside. Yeah, is it crazy? I want you with me all the time. And when it's freezing, I'm fiending for your touch. Wanna bathe in all your love, girl, it's tough. Cause you keep me warm, warm, then I'm cool, cool in the night. Yeah, you keep me warm, warm, then I'm cool, cool in the night. In the night, you keep me warm, warm, then I'm cool, cool in the night. In the night, yeah, you keep me warm, warm, then I'm cool, cool in the night. Woo! Bring me your love, pour it down on me. Let me feel your heart and your energy. Love from above, we living in the glory days. Sun's not enough, no, I need you with me anyways. Bring me your love, pour it down on me. Let me feel your heart and your energy. Your love from above, we living in the glory days. Sun's not enough, no, I need you with me anyways. Baby, you're a star, I love it. You know that you are, I love it, love it. Sunsets from afar, you love it. Rides in the car, you love it, love it. When I lay with you, all the way with you, maybe stay with you. Cause baby, you keep me comfortable. And I wanna know, do I keep you warm, warm when you're cool, cool in the night. In the night, do I keep you warm, warm when you're cool, cool in the night.
Left cracked open and your eyes were quickly moving. I could tell that you were mad cause I was stuck on your face. And I could feel that I was losing you to the drum that you were beating. Cause the wall between us is such a familiar place. I know I'm feeling you up. I'm feeling you up with rage. But God knows I'd give you my love. I'd give you that any day. When you drive me crazy, when you drive me mad, crazy. You know you drive me mad, but I can never live a day without you. I know I'm filling you up, I'm filling you up with rage. But God knows I'd give you my love, I'd give you that any day. You know you drive me crazy, you know you drive me mad, but I can never live a day without you. You know you drive me crazy, you know you drive me mad, but I can never live a day without you. Crazy, you know you drive me mad, but I can never live a day without you. You know you drive me crazy, you know you drive me mad, but I can never live a day without you.
16. Trap. Special. Party. Solar. 2021 GSL Season 2. Code S. Africa TV, Freak Up Studio, live. 2021 GSL Season 2.
Today, okay, finally, my mic is on. Tonight,
Hi, we are
hello.
three Korean casters.
Yes, we're off to an amazing start here. We are going to finish the round of 16 tonight. This is Group D. It's been an amazing round of 16 so far. We've got two Protoss, Zerg and Terran tonight.
Yeah, that's right. How are they each going to do? It's like a crazy group. It's exactly what Special did not want. We did get to talk to him some before.
Yeah.
He still thinks he can. He has good chances to get out, but we'll see.
Yeah, he's been saying the matchup's pretty hard for Terran and hard for him as well. We'll see what he's got up his sleeve. It's a group I think is pretty tough to really call who actually comes out. I think this could go a lot of different ways here tonight.
Yeah, I shared an elevator ride with Parting, and I know that we're only on the second floor.
I was going to say, that must have been quite the journey.
Well, actually, it was, because we got in the elevator. We were waiting for the elevator, and then we got in, but it kept going down. So we went down into the basement together. We came back up, multiple stops. It was crazy. We know each other. We're best friends. But he was saying that he feels like it's like 60% for him to get out tonight.
That's interesting. Normally when I get stuck in an elevator and it's not going to the second floor but going all the way down, it's with fans of the show who are here. And I'm like, yeah, I work here, and normally I know how to use the elevator, but this time we're going to go down to B6 in the parking lot and then come back up to floor 2.
That's the best way to do it. You got to check those floors.
This makes me think of that story from a long time ago where you and Idra got stuck in an elevator for a while.
Oh, God, I forgot about that, yeah. We were stuck in an elevator. Yeah, that was weird. It wasn't that long, though, was it? I can't remember how long it was.
I think it was like 15 minutes or something, but it was a good story at the time.
That's right. That's right. He was. I
right
lived in like a really cheap
season.
building, and No, I remember that now. Yeah.
Now, this is our full lineup: Trap, Special, Party, and Solar. Again, I think it's a pretty stacked group. Quick video, then we're going to start our games.
이번 시드지만 항상 죽음의 조기 때문에 오늘로 이제 정렬이가 탑시드가 되면서 조금 괜찮은 조로 갈 수 있는 기회가 생겼어요. 정렬이가 뽑지 않은 선수예요.
후안.
저 싫어요.
싫어요?
네, 싫어. 너무 싸기네.
너무 잔이 싫어?
네, 싸기.
사고는 해도 뽑는 사람 마음이니까요. 네. 그래서 이 조성우 선수가 바로 데리고 여기 있는 선수들 중에서 후안 선수가 가장 뽑고 싶은 종족이 따로 있나요?
아, 모르겠어. 아마 테란?
테란?
네.
오, 테란.
저는 후안 선수랑은 별로 하고 싶진 않아요.
저는 디조가 괜찮은 것 같아요. 제 입장에서는.
와!
이재선 선수나 이신영 선수보다는 아마 그래도 제가 제일 낫지 않을까 해서 그래도 저를 뽑아줬으면 좋겠네요.
안 싫어.
안 해요?
안 해.
안 해? 네, 알겠습니다.
아마도
원이삭이요?
오늘은 간 보는 게
아니, 원이삭이요? 러브코 후원하게 받았어요. 어떠세요? 지금 뒷목을 잡은 것 같은데.
일단 너무 땡큐고요. 너무 건방지고 한번 부셔줘야겠는데요.
야! 와! 김민희 선수의 타임이 좀 돌아왔어요. 지금 남은 선수 박한솔과 강민수 두 중에 강한 선수를 뽑고
누가 더 강해요?
누가 더 강해 궁금해서 그래요.
그냥 둘 다 잘하는 선수인 것 같은데 민수가 살아있다 보니까 또 성주랑 하는 거 살짝 보고 싶거든요.
그렇죠?
네.
그렇죠.
호기심이 생기잖아요.
네.
또 보고 싶어요. 명경기 너무 많이 나왔잖아요.
네.
제가 볼 때 저랑 약간 성주랑 전생에 악연이 있는 것 같아요. 그래가지고 뭐 이게 뭐 이 정도 되면 뭐 이제 운명 아닌가 싶고 뭐 이번에도 죽음의 조에서 뭐 최선을 다해 보겠습니다.
자, 누굴 데려갈까요? 이번에 자, 강민수 맞나요? 아니면은 누구 데려가나요?
근데 유진이 형이 원래 약간 이렇게 장난 많이 치면서 저 형이 진짜 챙겨줄 때 이렇게 챙겨주거든요, 유진이 형이. 그래서 유진이 형이 만약에 저그랑 하게 되면 연습 필요할 때 뭐 새벽 한 4, 5시에 불러도 자다 깨고 일어나서 연습 도와주러 가겠습니다.
Round of 16. Trap. Special, Party, Solar, 2021 GSL Season 2, Code S.
The most shocking part of that for me is that SOS is calling Solar for practice at 4 to 5 a.m. in the morning. Like, okay, first off, to call someone on the phone at 4 to 5 a.m. in the morning, like, is that normal, Tasteless? Does anyone call you at 4 to 5 a.m.?
Yeah. Artosis, you have kids. You wake up super early in the morning, all right? You're living a different life. These guys are basically vampires, Artosis. They're up all night.
Someone calls me at 4 a.m. in the morning, my heart jumps up in my throat because I know someone's
died.
dead. I'm like, who's in the hospital? This is...
I love Artosis occasionally does where he's like, well, everybody's going to bed at 11 now. I'm like, Artosis, that's just you. You're the only person doing that, man.
People are staying up till 4 or 5 a.m. still nowadays?
I do it sometimes, Artosis. I am actually right now on a 4 or 5 a.m. schedule.
No way.
I don't want to be, but we're not able to travel, right? Usually, the way I fix my sleep cycle is normally we do an event overseas, and then I come back and I start to wake up at 8 o'clock again.
I gotta sign you up for this thing where you go to bed around 10 p.m.
I would not mind doing that.
It's amazing. You've got to try it. Promise me you'll try it.
I'll try it, Artosis.
Okay.
I'll give it a whirl. So, we're going to start this off with, I think, a great TVP to get this going. I'm really curious to see how Special is doing. Special has been grinding it out the last few weeks, but he's up against Trap, and Trap seems to be the most ahead of the curve with Protoss right now.
Oh, yeah,
he may be the best Protoss in the entire world.
Definitely. I think it's unquestionable at this point that he definitely is. So definitely, it's a hard one for Special. This is who Trap picked, probably for good reason. Let's see how he does.
All right, map 1, we'll start on Oxide, then Romanticide, and Lightshade. This is Trap versus Special in Group D.
Africa Freaks, Trap.
I like that uniform.
Yeah, I like it too, actually.
Psystorm Gaming, Special.
Some support here for Special. So, as of late, it does seem like if we get into longer games, Terran do have a harder and harder time actually controlling and mitigating the Protoss's growth.
Yeah. The way, and it's like, it's hard in general because they have 3 sources of splash damage, all of which are going to be very, very strong, plus the mass warping rounds of Zealots and the Prism, right? You put all that together, it's deadly late game. But also, the way that a lot of Terrans approach going towards that later game, they stay very heavy Marine Marauder medevac, and if you're not adding other units in, you simply won't be able to ever win an actual fight. Like, we'll see Terrans do very well for a while, and then the Protoss brings it to a head where you actually have to defend, and you just can't do it at that point. So, we'll see which approach Special brings here, right? Like, are we going to see, like, a healthy teching up into the late game, or are we just going to see heavy aggression and trying to finish it before then?
The Special is, I'd say, straight down the middle as far as Terran players go. You know, he's very grindy. He does like to win mostly by just sort of pushing and outgrowing. He doesn't tend to cheese a whole lot. He doesn't tend to proxy a whole lot. Obviously, he's not doing that in this game, but in general, right? He's a little bit more on the predictable side. If you had a spectrum of Terran players, you'd have like innovation all the way on one side where you could pretty much expect what he's going to do. The problem is he's so good at doing it. I put Special a little bit over into that side of Terrans.
Yeah, probably slightly. I think he's a little bit more strategic than some, but yeah, I mean, he's definitely got very strong mechanics. Now, a Stargate coming up against Reactored Hellions. I do wonder exactly what Special's going to end up bringing out today, because he definitely does not want to play like super late game against Protoss. He was mentioning that.
Yeah, which means he probably needs to have some kind of potent attack or push that's going to end the game right away, or maybe dropping at a certain location, hitting somewhere, and then catching the Protoss off guard. Hitting the Protoss at the third. Protosses are always getting third bases ahead of Terrans. It's been like that for a long time.
The 4 Hellions have been made, going to be sent out onto the map. No bunker or anything. Going to go ahead and land that factory on the tech lab and get a Cyclone going. Second barracks on the way. And yeah, that's a perfect spread there. These Hellions not likely to find any real damage.
Yeah, for a second I was going to ask, does that actually block? It didn't look like it did, but I guess that answers my question there. So the Hellions come in. Looks like Special is not actually going to dive into the main. Now, he's only killed 3 probes, now 4. So actually not as much as you would want to have killed. You would want to get a little bit more than that. The Hellions haven't quite paid for themselves.
Yeah.
And of course, you're trading attacking units into workers. Whenever you're doing that, you want to kill the value of attacking workers at least equal to or more than what the harass is. It's not bad, but I don't think this is going to hiccup trap that much in development.
Yeah, it certainly won't. But I mean, I guess it gives him a little bit of intel. You know, he sees the 3 Adepts just kind of sitting back. Probably starts to assume that it's a Stargate tech from there. Now sees these Phoenixes, which do dodge any Cyclone lock-ons there. And I mean, the game looks like pretty normal overall right now. A little bit harder to call exactly what Special wants for his mid-game. He is getting that starport almost done. Third base has been on the way here for Trap, as well as the Twilight.
Okay, Phoenix is going to come in here and snipe off a couple workers. He does lose 1 Phoenix. Not the end of the world, though.
Yeah, that's a nice little mine, though. Definitely does its job there.
Where was the mine actually hidden? I didn't see. Was that under the
pocketed
geyser?
minerals?
Okay,
yeah.
That's another good spot to put it.
Yeah, the SCVs really make it like impossible to see.
People have gotten very crafty at putting the spider mines into positions, or widow mines, excuse me, into positions that are just hard to ever see ahead of time. So we've got the Forge coming down, Adept Glaives, Gateways.
Whoa, Glaives.
Yeah, Glaives is an interesting choice, but you know, some of this might come down to the fact that the Protoss knows he probably just has to stop Terran at a certain point in the game, and from there the rest of the game is easier. And he's already got some Adepts and Glaives. He's got some Phoenixes which can interrupt certain setups that Terran wants to have when they try to position. So he might just want to have kind of a strong, like, battle Protoss little army that's going to try to take a fight. If the Terran tries to do a powering 2-base push, it might be matched.
Yeah, yeah. We never see Phoenix Adept anymore, so that's very interesting. He's getting the +1 to go with it, so that he can 2-shot still. But I'm so surprised that this is what Trap is doing, because if Special somehow, like, if he does any sort of scouting that allows him to see more than 3 Adepts, then he should be able to identify basically what's going on, because no one would make more Adepts after those initial 3 defending. After the Hellions are dead and everything, it wouldn't make sense. And if you see that it is Adepts, you can outscale them, right? If you just sit there and make more units, you get to a certain amount and the Adepts just can't beat it anymore.
Yeah, Adepts have like a certain degree of buildup, and then it falls off pretty heavily.
Yeah.
But again, if the Terran doesn't have a proper read on this, your push is going to be completely blunted by a swarm of Adepts kind of hitting and interrupting everything. And again, with the tanks numbering what they are, and we're looking at, I mean, this is what, 6 barracks, I think? 5 barracks, maybe?
Yeah, 5 barracks.
Pushing out with tanks. I mean, it's all clearly engineered to, like we were talking about at the start of the game, all set up to basically hit a certain moment. And it looks like that moment's actually going to be in the next couple minutes here.
Yeah, look at this. He's sending 1 Marine up.
Now, I think it's too late to hide from the Adepts.
Okay, yeah.
Did you see the Glaives?
As long as he saw Glaives, which he definitely should have. Like, this is, I like this game right now for Special. No. What do you, don't be greedy. Okay.
Yeah, but he can't push right now.
No, he should wait a little bit longer. Like, look, he's got 4 tanks, 7 Marauders, 20 Marines.
Do you think he should pull SCVs for the attack, I wonder?
Nah.
Really?
I think like, if he waits for, like, 1 more round and goes,
he's going.
Like, this army is not going to lose to Adepts.
Yeah, I think Trap was hoping this would have come a little bit sooner, but, I mean, this is a really powerful push. And this is one where once Terran sieges, you basically have to run away. Now he can shade in here, he can identify how many tanks are actually there, and he could, I don't know, would you actually want to unshade on this? Looks like he's going to do it.
Well, he's got to trade as best he can. Look, comes in, lifts up those tanks.
No Guardian Shield here, just the Adepts and the tanks that were picked up here. And actually the Adept fight is going extremely well here. He's whittled down the army size to a pretty puny amount, and this is all basically the Trap needed to do with the Adept comp, was to dunk on the army. And from here, you can tech into whatever you want. Now, it almost looks like we may have him try to shade in and just get a closer. And it's possible that the Terran right now is actually so brittle that you can get away with that.
Yeah. It's too bad. I really wish Special had waited for like one more round, maybe 2 more rounds there.
I wonder about the SCVs as well, if maybe that would be worthwhile. If you're really trying to close the game just with 2 bases and hitting to end it right there, I don't feel like you need to try to have longevity later on, but who knows, he might have been able to shut that down easily as well. But
well, he did bring 8 SCVs, it looked like mostly for repairing purposes.
I think so, yeah.
But
maybe building a turret or something.
Yeah.
Or
now he's in a bad shape, though. Like, this is... He's in a bad shape.
He's in a bad shape.
I have just not lived in an English-speaking country for too long at this point.
His mentality is going to be destroyed.
Yeah, you don't want that, man. All right, a little bit of Liberator harassment. Does have 4 medevacs on the map, but yeah, it's a good place for Trap. If you get to trade armies one time with something like this, and you're on those 3 bases, it's a good place to be in. Like his Adepts are, he still has a fair amount of them, but they're going to do okay tanking anyways with the claw side that he's making.
So there's another chance for a push here, but I feel like this one should be overall just weaker. We'll see. He's landed some Vikings. He's got a lot of bulk to this, but yeah, splash damage is here.
He kind of is catching him in a transition, which is good, right? Like anytime you can catch someone in the middle of a transition, that's one of their weakest points. That's like the knee of the player.
Yeah.
So look, he's got 1 Colossi. He does have a good amount of sentries in here.
Some Stalkers coming into the back.
Yeah, the composition is going to be very good very soon. But yeah, let's just see how he goes here. A couple force fields go down, pick off a couple Marauders. That's really good. It's definitely the high quality units.
Okay, is he actually going to commit? Oh, he does. I thought he wasn't, but the rest of the army's going to come in here and meet up with this. Now the tank is going to go down. It's going to be just infantry. The 2 Vikings still firing down at the Colossi, but I think there might just barely be too much here from Protoss.
Yeah, just
and that's
barely
it.
so.
GG. Trap basically holds off extremely powerful pushes, 2 of them from Special. Zoned him out of any opportunity late game. Now, it's clear Special, you know, his theory right now in the matchup is you need to end it before Protoss really gets started, but Trap went with an alternative tech comp to basically blindside that and to match it. It's actually a very old technique in PvT, like even in StarCraft 1, where when you see they're getting a bunch of factories, you basically halt production and power up on what you have and try to kind of overpower them as the push comes out. Trap did it. He did it in a different way, of course, with Adepts and Glaives, and you know, they have a lot of value if they're used early enough, and that's what we had happen. We're going to go to Romanticide now for Game 2 and see if Special could come up with something different to take on Trap.
Africa Freaks, Trap. Psystorm Gaming, Special.
All right. I'm actually kind of hoping that we might see some mech here. Special's a
major inspiration. I like that. Welcome to the studio. I like that mask too. It's a styling mask.
I like his shirt. He's a handsome man. Honestly, inspiration might actually be one of his IDs too. This guy is like notorious for having more IDs than anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so This map, Romanticide, it's been a little bit trendy to go mech here against Protoss lately. Definitely seen it a few times.
Yep.
I would like to see it out of Special. I feel sad about that first game, man, because really he was very close to having enough that the Adepts weren't going to work.
Yeah, I do think that game really illustrated how Trap has been and still is very ahead of the curve. Like he's already countering what Terrans are trying to counter the Protoss. You know, he's already playing into that.
Yeah, if you think your opponent's going to go for like a 2-base play and you go Glaive Adepts after Phoenix, it's not a bad idea. Like, it's something that can work. It's just like if your opponent, the thing is, no one goes Glaive Adepts like Phoenix Adept anymore, and it like there was a period where it looked dominating and every Terran was just attacking too quickly, and then they finally figured out to just kind of scale up a bit more, right? Like get a critical mass where the Adepts just aren't going to win at that point. And you know, it felt there like Special didn't quite remember what that mass was, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure, but kind of a rough loss there from Special. He's making a Marauder right now. It's kind of interesting. Why is he making a Marauder right now?
Yeah, we don't normally see that early on.
No, we really don't.
I wonder if he has. I don't think he would have any kind of attack with that. I mean, down the road. So I don't know.
Yeah,
second Marauder. Too.
Yeah. There. Once upon a time, there was like some concussive shell openers where you catch the first Adept and stuff like that. But I think that this will be some sort of very strange attack, and just Trap even just seeing this Marauder, that tells you a lot. Like, you do not expect to see a Marauder at this point. So I don't know what it's going to be, but 2 Marauders out already. It has to be something. Something special.
Now we got Blink coming here from Trap. Again, this is all very kind of safe, middle-of-the-road play. We've seen this a lot. We'll see how many more gateways he gets behind this. I guess he didn't scout that, but I think when you see the Stalker, you basically know. And the Robo's going to be coming with this as well.
Are those just defensive? They are. He makes a third. I wonder, right? Like, well, there's a few cool things about Marauders. First off, Adepts aren't going to do much, and Trap does like some early Adept harassment. Also, it makes you think an attack is coming, and here he's going third command.
Yeah, I wonder if it's more for looks, if anything else.
I mean, it's okay defensively, right?
Terran have always had the ability to basically... Oh, he's going to just let these stay here, try to take a fight. He does kill that SCV. Can he get another Adept here? It looks like the shots are all spread out enough. Gets 2, not bad.
Yeah.
So a bit of a poor engage there for Trap, but yeah, Terran's always had these little pushes you could assemble off of 2 bases where you get like a Raven, or you mix in a couple of units and kind of throw them at that, and that might be what it looked like was coming there when you saw the Marauders and the Cyclone, but it's quite different in this case. It's going to be the 3rd CC, as you said, Artosis, and we're going to have a bit more of a macro game. That doesn't mean that some of the ideas from Special aren't still at play from game 1, in the sense that the Terran is going to try to end this game at a certain point in time, and does not want to try to go on in a long, drawn-out macro game, trying to match the opposing race, like we've seen Terrans do against Zerg, where they kind of just hang on and basically try to outpace the Zerg in the long run. This one's really more about trying to get a closer, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I can't quite tell. Like, I mean, it has to be a mid-game push at least, because he did get that 3rd CC. And there we go. A couple more barracks coming down. Seems like he's just kind of utilized his tech buildings early on here. Yeah, I guess it has to be a pretty big push, considering, right? Like, he's really powering up. 4 racks on the way.
Thought those Stalkers were going to go over the mine for a second, so he does bring the Observer back. Oh, and cleans up that one mine. Nicely done. Now, back at Protoss' home, he's getting a Templar Archives. And so we may see Storm as kind of the play here.
Yeah, for sure.
To try to... I mean, you have to go into some type of splash, and with the 3 different splashes available, there's Colossi, lasers, especially if you have a couple of them, a Disruptor shot, assuming that it does connect with the ideal target, and then Psystorm, assuming it does connect properly with the target. But Psystorm, out of all 3 of those, is the one that's the most immediate. And there's not a lot of preventative measures Terran can do, at least for this phase of the game. Obviously, you can EMP them with Ghosts, but we're not at that phase of the game yet.
You always have some play with High Templars, there's no doubt about that. All right, Special landing his 3rd command center with reasonable speed. Charge on the way, as well as that Storm upgrade for Trap. And I mean, just kind of adding on reactors, getting that macro flowing and trying to defend everything. It seems pretty solid. Like Trap doesn't have a lot to harass with anyways. He hasn't made a prism yet or anything like that. But he really likes to move out as soon as Storm is finishing, so I think we are going to see him move out relatively soon here. Probably make a prism next.
Yeah.
Right, like, I think he definitely does want that prism, and then to just kind of move out and see if he can nail him with some Psy Storms, because a lot of players don't get the Ghost Academy until they see Psy Storm.
Yeah. And that basically gives Protoss this gap inside the game tech-wise, where they can really take advantage of that. And so we've got the Templars. The scan reveals it all. Yeah. Obviously, with 4 Templars, they're not being Archons. That can only mean Storm. Now, the Raven's going to come in here up and hit the natural, probably chucking down some auto turrets here. While denied with a great feedback.
Yeah.
And this is really going to take the wind out of the sails here of Special's push. Immediately dives on that. Trap is so precise.
Yeah.
Look at this.
No, I know. It's pretty crazy. His defense looking really, really strong here. Even blinking forward, they're picking off a couple units. Special going to turn around. But you know, look, against the Psy Storm, he has to wait till he has Ghosts now. And that makes it very, very tough. And like, he scanned, he saw the High Templars, and immediately threw down the Ghost Academy, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's something we've actually been talking about some this season, where like this is the difference in TVP between a lot of the Terrans. Like Maru will just make it very early because he knows, right? Whereas so many Terrans are in this type of situation where it's like, can you actually get damage done? He has Psy Storm. It seems very difficult. See?
Yeah, just shuts that down.
He's keeping some pressure on as he tries to get a mine drop off.
But he hasn't really made a dent yet. Let's see, if this mine drop can do just that. The probe's been pulled pretty quickly.
Yeah,
again, you really need more than 2 probe kills to make this worthwhile. Meanwhile, inside the Terran's main, in the heart, Zealots are warped in immediately. The mine drop does come down into the main, but the SCV's been pulled away. We could even have a second warp in here if the Terran does not clean this up fast enough. The Warp Prism picks up the Zealots and pulls away. There is a gap in the bottom right where you can basically park the Warp Prism where it can't be touched unless something like a Viking comes over there to attack it. And overall, again, I think the lead continues to mount here for Trap. We saw the recall there on the Warp Prism. I don't think that Protoss has really taken much of a bruising so far.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on for him at the moment.
Stalker wants to kill this Raven. It does get the kill, barely.
Not going to lose a couple high-end units there for that. Utilizing the force field there against Protoss. But we do have Colossus and or Disruptor tech on the way here for Trap, who is also getting 2-1 right now. 2-1 on the way for Special, also kind of lined up similarly.
There's a tank sieged up here, but it's not in range of the Nexus, so it's not as much of a threat yet. Special going to try to come in here right now. Meanwhile, a Zealot warp in over here at the 4th base for Terran as Trap comes in here to shut down this attack. Honestly, making it look easy. It looks like the tank should be picked off here by the Zealots and Stalkers. And there's just too much here for Trap. Again, his defense has been too solid, and honestly, Special, every time he's attacking in now, he's losing more than he's gaining in each of these fights. And I worry now that the Protoss is going to be so strong that this counterattack will deny a 4th base from ever being landed here, and therefore zone Special out economically.
In fact, he might kill that if Special's not careful. Look at this, coming forward now.
It's got to be low. I don't know what the HP is. Okay, it goes down.
Painful. Oh. How are you going to do this as Special right now? It's coming up the ramp, has a couple of mortals in there as well, punching through.
GG. Wow. I mean,
pretty one-sided.
That's a rough loss, for the Terran when you lose like that, where they just shut down everything that you do, and it feels like it's impossible to win. That's when you know you're against a really good player.
Yeah.
When you're hitting all your timings with your upgrades, you're pushing out, and they make it look easy. And so Special goes down to the loser's match. He still has an opportunity, a chance to move on to the round of 8, but right now he's Trap's first victim.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the hardest player in the group. One of the favorites for the season, no doubt. Best Protoss in the world. What are you going to do? And that's why Trap chose Special. He really felt like you could take him down, and you see why. But Special, yeah, he still has shots here. For sure. Harding is a very different Protoss player, although very strong in this matchup. And then, of course, there's Solar, right? Which is like,
yeah,
TVZ, okay. I think that could be a good match, Solar versus Special.
Okay, guys, quick break, and when we come back, Harding versus Solar in Group D. Don't go away.
Every time I need a rescue, hanging on the verge of breakdown. Even though I try to replace you, but loneliness makes me break down. Every time I need a rescue, hanging on the verge of breakdown. Waiting for a touch, you say no day.
Reaching for your love like it was stars, and now I fall apart. I don't know why you chose to go and break my heart when I needed you most. I don't wanna hold on to the memories, got you stuck inside my head like melodies, and I know that you're no good for me. Hate to love, it's like I'm stuck somewhere between. There's a million voices, but nobody is making a sound. Seeing your face and not facing my part of the town. Trying to fight this, 'cause all I do is think of you. Of your X's and O's, before the fire froze over to ice. Back when you looked at me like paradise. Now I fall apart. I don't know why you chose to go and break my heart when I needed you most. I don't wanna hold on to the memory.
함께 모이면 홈파티. 홈파티엔 먹방. 먹방엔 칠성사이다. 맛있어. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함. 칠성사이다.
퇴근하고 뭐해? 퇴근하고? 오늘은 유 셰프, 내일은 유러너, 주말엔 유목수. 그걸 다? 본캐부터 부캐까지 하고 싶은 게 많은 요즘 시대의 커피. 칸타타 콘트라베이스.
이번 주 등산 어때? 등산 캠핑?
그래서 주말엔 낚시?
내가 낚인 거지. 그래도 나오니까 좋잖아.
일상에서 취미까지 나누고 싶은 게 많은 요즘 시대의 커피. 칸타타. 아이시스 8.0을 챙긴다는 건 건강한 생각까지 챙긴다는 것. 나를 움직이는 핑크 에너지. 아이시스 8.0. 아이시스 8.0을 연다는 건 조금 이른 아침을 연다는 것. 나를 움직이는 핑크 에너지. 아이시스 8.0.
디자인하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
Round of 16. Trap. Special. Party. Solar. 2021 GSL Season 2. Code S. Africa TV. Freak Up Studio Live. 2021 GSL Season 2.
Welcome back, everybody. Parting vs. Solar is coming up next, and I'm excited for this one.
Yeah.
I always enjoy a good parting game. He's always a lot of fun to cast. Solar, I think, should be a pretty good match for him.
Yeah, yeah. These two, definitely it feels like two players that should give each other a close run for their money. Who do you think is favored here? I'm really not sure.
I'm actually not sure.
I actually feel like
think it's pretty
slightly
even.
parting, maybe slightly parting. Like Solar, he's very good. He's solid, but Parting's unpredictability and his range are so hard to deal with. I think, right? Like there could be Cannon Rush, there could be all sorts of all-ins, or he could go into like a crazy Void Ray Sky Toss build. You know?
Yeah. I mean, Parting, one of the things that's always fun about him is he really does have his own style, his own approach. He's not afraid or embarrassed to cheese to all in to do something crazy, but his foundations are also very good.
Yeah.
And it's Solar as well. Solar's a very crafty ZVP player. I look forward to what kind of game we're going to have here. And we're going to be starting this off on GSL Oblivion.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy that we're actually seeing this map played a reasonable amount.
Yeah. I always feel like we get these new maps, and then we don't get to see them that much because the pro gamers don't want to play on them.
Yeah. We were kind of lucky with Nautilus. That map was actually really well made.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually got that one a decent amount.
So this best of three is about to get started. Let's not forget that Trap awaits the winner of this best of three, whereas the loser will go down and face off against Special. So no matter how you do in this best of three, you're going to have a tough opponent ahead of you. This is a very, very strong group. Very hard to really predict who goes on, who gets out. And so we're going to get closer to finding that out. Our game has loaded up. This is Parting versus Solar. Game 1 in Group D, Match 2.
Party.
By the way, it looks like he's going for a hatch block here. Very quick probe.
Kai Z Gaming.
Oh,
Solar.
Never mind, it's a Cannon Rush.
So before this started, I almost wanted to talk about maybe he cannon rushes, but I thought that was almost becoming cliche of me to
Wait,
say.
no, I guess it's not actually. It's a
block. It's a
the
hatchery
pylon
block.
was in his base, so I thought it might be.
No, this is a gateway first hatch block.
Yeah, and it's gateway in the main base.
Can we get production to turn off the? I'm hearing an echo.
You don't
my
like
own
the
voice
echo?
in production. I don't know why their mics are on in my ear right now. I love casting as if I'm inside of a giant cave.
Yeah.
So there is a forge coming now. It is on one base here. This is kind of a funny looking build overall. I really want to see what the next few steps are for Parting.
Ah, yeah, with the forge, that's actually very interesting. I love Parting, man. His games definitely are very, very exciting. at this. Pretty close score overall. 18-21 overall, 11-13 in Legacy of the Void. So for the past 4 years. And look at that. A pylon at the bottom of the ramp.
Huh. What is his plan? By the way, the Zerg is searching. The Zerg senses something's going on. A cannon's going to come down.
Oh my God, that
didn't
blocks?
know this at all.
Okay, so Parting figured something out that I guess other people didn't know. That's crazy.
Look
What?
at Solar.
What?
It doesn't even look like it. It should work at all.
That's insane. I had... What? That must just be an Oblivion thing, I guess.
Yeah, no,
I've never
it's probably
seen
this map title set.
That's so weird.
And so I think that outright, most likely, Solar would just lose because this is supposed to not be factored in as a possibility.
Oh, man. I love how his drone just kept trying both sides. He's like, is this real?
I know. He's like, this can't possibly be.
Yeah. Good old Parting, man.
Okay, so the Queen's going to come down here and start to hit the hatchery. And
okay, so
I mean not the hatchery, excuse me, the pylon. And from here, like, what exactly can Zerg try to do? Keep in mind that the third base is completely isolated from the natural.
Yeah.
Protoss is going to use this as a launching pad for a big attack here.
I think it's pretty clear, like, you have to go with some Ravagers here, but obviously the Void Rays don't care about Ravagers all that much. The Queen going to continue to pick this off, and the Ravagers coming down now. Oh. Little bit of a sloppiness there, taking quite a bit of damage.
Okay, so he's going to start coming through here. Obviously, the Ravagers are a real threat to the cannons, but when you start to stack these batteries, how many times are they going to have to corrosive bile this thing down? It's going to be a lot. And so behind this, the Void Ray's coming. It's being chronoed out here. Another battery about to finish. Now, of course, Protoss hasn't expanded behind this, so it's either it's going to work or it's going to not work. But right now, basically, this hatchery can't be protected. The Void Rays can stack over there and continue to do damage.
Yeah, and enough shield batteries here, just making it so hard to go down. How do you get down that ramp? Like, you have to start one-shotting the cannons here, and the batteries as well. Oh, man. All right, a Spore on the way. Also teching up a bit here. I mean, since Lair is on the way, that makes me think it's probably going to be some sort of Nidus play. That would kind of make the most sense, is to turn this into some sort of base trade. But I think Parting is, like, well equipped to win a base trade with this type of composition
it
as
seems
well.
like it would probably be the most predictable move, right? It's like, okay, well, you don't have any other options. You're not going to go into a macro game from here. He does snipe that first Queen. Things looking pretty dire right now as the hatchery goes down, and I believe there's no drones or anything else on the map. Is that correct? Oh no, I think there's one hit in the center left, I believe, but that might not even matter, as this damage is starting to really, compound over here at the Zerg's main. There it is, GG Parting.
Wow,
the Pylon Prince himself.
Yeah, that was like a funny way to win a game.
That was.
Hey, did you know this?
That was like we went back in time 11 years. And it was one of the first days at GSL.
Look at him smile.
Yeah.
Look at him smile.
Well, I'll tell you what, one thing about Parting is that he does like to tinker with building placement, like not just in a multiplayer game. He really sits down and figures out, okay, where does everything fit? How do we do this? And when you discover an exploit like that on a map like that,
well, when there's something like that, you just keep your mouth quiet.
Yeah, you
don't show anyone
that. Do that on the ladder.
You don't whisper that to your teddy bear at night, because that is literally one completely free win.
Yes, and the free win was taken. Solar, frustrated no doubt, is going to have to try to prove himself on Blackburn as we go into game number 2. I doubt Parting has another trick. It's going to be that exploitative, but let's find out.
Parting. KZ Gaming, Solar.
Here he comes again. Another Forge Tasteless.
King of the mountain. Oh, I actually almost didn't listen to you, Artosis. It is another Forge.
Yeah. Got to do it, you know? Has to be done.
Parting 5-head plays, knowing that, you know, cannons don't cost supply. And this is funny because it pairs with the first build, right? Oh,
oh man.
Oh, I'm watching Solar's face right now.
Oh, God.
Solar's like, this guy. I'm one of the greatest Zergs of all time, and I got to play like I'm in the middle of Gold League on the ladder.
Yeah, look at this, and he is actually going to wall that in there.
Yeah.
Does the cancel.
Yep.
Fully walled. So the problem is, if you unpower this, you're not going to see up the ramp.
That is correct, but I think the probe can basically run up and make another pylon at the last second. Here we go. Oh, he gets. Oh,
he almost gets it though. See, this is. Yeah, this is good micro from Solar. If he can snap the probe, then it's kind of done. Wow, that's some good micro.
Skip up. Skip up. Skip up. Skip up. Up.
Oh my God. Okay, second probe is up. We're gonna make a Zealot.
Okay, so 2 spines are being made to try to sandbag the progress of the rush. There's a core being made back at home, and I think a lot of the same ideas are basically at play here. There is a pylon up on the high ground. It is not going to be easy to hit. I think if he gets a queen to the bottom left, he can hit it without the cannon being able to fight back. But if Parting elects to make more cannons next to that pylon, well then there's another problem there for the Zerg.
Yeah, it seems like the spines are going to prevent him from dying to this.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he has some sort of continuation here that's very good.
Well, that's the thing is I think, you know, just looking at the way that Parting's playing right now, it doesn't appear that this is really the plan to win with the cannon rush. It's basically to set them up so that I'm guessing you could probably go into Void Ray and basically do the same thing again. The Void Ray is nice because it can both hit the hatchery that we're looking at here that the Zealots are attacking and also still push into the main. And keep in mind, you know, Zerg does not have drones hidden on the map, I don't believe, that I could see here looking at the mini-map with my naked eye. But
yeah, I mean, he has some larvae out there, so he could probably get a drone out onto the map. But making Lings here to try to save that hatchery looks like he will be able to for now.
Problem is that, you know, 3 Lings remain, but oh, I'm sorry, he's actually not getting a Void Ray at all. I just decided he was doing that. There's a Robo making.
Yeah, might be like just an Immortal push coming up.
Yeah, I think Immortal War Prism, which I think is also just as good. It basically, the idea here for Parting is to just kind of make cannons behind his current cannons, make batteries back there as well. By the way, the one Adept coming up here is going to be a headache because that can be microed much better against the Lings.
It's great scouting as well because it just kind of tells you what is going on.
Oh no, he just let off the Lings. Keep in mind, it really is important that Zerg actually keeps his hatchery alive.
Yeah.
Even if it's not for that long. And now all 3 drones are going to be picked off or at least chased away. Solar basically on the ropes right now. I mean, he is fighting for his life. And look, if he can actually break free from this, Parting should not be able to recover. The problem is that Parting is really masterful at these types of plays, at these builds, these dances where every note, every part of it has to be hit perfectly and precisely because one small mistake and you lose control of the game. The Adept going to shade in here and scout. I doubt it'll let it finish. Oh, I'm sorry, it actually does.
Well, it gives him full vision, and he sees that there is actually not a Roach Warren.
Yeah, surprisingly,
I think
by the way.
that's probably a situation where you want to make another cannon, right? Because that means he has to try to break you with Lings.
Yeah, I think any other Protoss player would most likely anticipate that you're going to see Ravagers come out here.
Yeah.
But without Ravagers, you have to overwhelm this with Zerglings. We don't have a Baneling's Nest either. And so he's basically with the... Oh, this spine actually going to get away, but not the other one.
Doesn't get that, but another Immortal is about to pop out here as well. I can't imagine Solar actually holding this, right?
I feel like we are very close to the end here, especially when the second Immortal pops out. There's a Ling counterattack. I haven't actually gotten a shot of the ramp here to know what exactly is going on there.
He's got like a cannon over at his own ramp, if that's what you're talking about. Like,
yeah, I didn't know. Okay, so he's actually
cannon
fine.
And a battery.
Yeah, so he's fine. I thought there might be no cannon at all. Now parting, again, the micro isn't that easy. He has not decided to pop over to the other hatchery and hit that. I think what he's really trying to do is just crack open the defenses here, because if you can get inside the main, there's really nothing that they can actually do with the other hatchery over there north of this position.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay.
I mean, he used up all the shield batteries, so maybe he can still break through?
Yeah, I'm actually not sure about this now. I think he's going to have to try to plug this up even further.
Yeah, he's going to full wall it looks like.
Now there's 3 Immortals over here.
Oh my god.
That's really where it becomes a spine crawler buster push. It's just sort of deal with, can he plug this last entrance?
Ooh. Maybe
Link's,
he wanted those trapped? No.
No.
Definitely not.
You're trapped in here with me. So this is going to slow down the mining tremendously, I should add, of party. But the problem also is that the Immortals are already out.
Yeah. Also, don't forget, he killed the Cybernetics Core before it finished Warp Gate. So what you see is what you get here. The probes have to fight.
These Lings may end up winning the game for him.
If he wins, it's definitely the Ling's fault.
Yeah. You know,
this damage, though, like, as long as he does not miss micro there.
He's trying to just hit the hatchery, it almost looks like. Now, again, these are Immortals that are becoming bruised.
Oh my god.
3 Lings away. So he's, I was kind of expecting this to happen a little bit sooner, but he is going to come out here and very easily push down this area, but the Lings can just run through.
Oh god, are the Lings going to go counter? No, they're going after these Immortals.
Yeah, well the problem now is that not all 3 Immortals can fit, 4 Immortals can actually fit inside the Warp Prism, right? So, okay, he actually kills the Lings. That's extremely important.
Another hatchery on the way.
This is so many Immortals, and now the Queens have no Ling protection. There's like 2 Lings in here.
Here comes that Prism as well. No way to really stop them from retreating without those Lings there.
Yeah, there's not that many more transfuses left. If he can just try to target down the Queens that are high in energy.
I think this is it, Tasteless. I think Solar's dead.
Yeah, I like how he's chipping away at the other main hatchery here as well. He's going to try to dive bomb this, but the micro's just insane here from Party. Now 5 Immortals against 5 Queens.
These things have so many kills on them as they plow forward, and
he's going to pop this hatchery. There's just nothing that Solar can do, and a frustrating second loss it does appear to be. Yeah, I think Solar's going to just digest this moment and then tap out. He literally has no hatchery other than the one making it to the top right, and obviously that's going to be easier to break down than this main one was over here.
Look at this. The Immortals just kind of kiting back. Solar with his last hurrah. He has that hatchery making in the top right, but, I mean, he hasn't even killed a single Immortal this game.
Yeah, the Immortals were kept alive, and the damage just began to snowball here. Again, those Lings, when they got inside the main, it was pretty remarkable. But at the end of the day, it was not enough to slow down the damage that Party put out here. Party with 2 extremely, epically cheesy wins is going to move on and have a PvP versus Trap. What a Parting-esque best of 3.
Pretty much. Pretty much. That was as filthy as it can get. Just pulls a fast one over on Solar. Solar goes that loser's match, and Parting going to be fighting for first place with Trap in a PvP.
I can't even imagine how salty Solar is right now.
Like game 2, that's like stuff that you deal with from time to time. You're like, yes, this is so hard to stop. Game 1, though, that's where you just shake your head. You're like, yeah, there was actually no way for him to win that.
Yeah.
There was actually no way. He was unaware. Everyone in the whole world is aware of that now.
Basically, it's a situation where if you don't know that can happen, you lose.
Yes.
Even if you're one of the best Zergs of all time. Guys, short break. We'll be right back.
함께 모이면 홈파티. 홈파티엔 먹방. 먹방엔 칠성사이다. 맛있어. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함. 칠성사이다.
퇴근하고 뭐해? 퇴근하고? 오늘은 유셰프, 내일은 유러너, 주말엔 유목수. 그걸 다? 본캐부터 부캐까지 하고 싶은 게 많은 요즘 시대의 커피. 칸타타 콘트라베이스.
이번 주 등산 어때? 등산 캠핑?
그래서 주말엔 낚시?
내가 낚인 거지. 그래도 나오니까 좋잖아.
일상에서 취미까지 나누고 싶은 게 많은 요즘 시대의 커피. 칸타타. 아이시스 8.0을 챙긴다는 건 건강한 생각까지 챙긴다는 것. 나를 움직이는 핑크 에너지. 아이시스 8.0. 아이시스 8.0을 연다는 건 조금 이른 아침을 연다는 것. 나를 움직이는 핑크 에너지. 아이시스 8.0.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
이렇게 좋은 날엔 홈캠핑이지. 홈캠핑엔 고기, 고기엔 칠성사이다. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함. 완벽하네. 칠성사이다.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스강. 환도 역시 가스강이 대세.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와, 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
야채 착착, 당토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥. 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
자, 준비되셨죠?
형 언제나
준비되셨죠?
네, 됐습니다.
꽂혔다면
쏟아부어 인생 직진 음료
하나씩 단체 개봉. 또
쏟아부어 인생 음료
하나씩.
오늘은 사이 무슨 사귀는 걸?
꽂혔다 안 꽂았고. 인생 음료.
하나씩.
뭐야 이거? 포스가 느껴지십니까?
꽂혔다면
치료는
내 포스가 느껴지십니까?
하나씩. 꽂혔다면
인생 음료.
이게 사의 맛이지. 기가 막히네.
꽂혔다면 쏟아져 인생 직진 음료
하나씩.
아, 맛있다. 맛있네. 기분이 좋아요.
인생 음료.
코 땄다면 쏟아부.
잠깐만.
코털핑.
꽂았다면 쏟아부어 인생 직진 음료 핫식.
대진은 마음에 들어요?
아니요, 너무 싫어요. 진짜 명호 형만 만나기 싫었는데.
대진이요? 욕해도 돼요? 2번 연속 이런 대진은 좀 아니지 않나. 저는 근데 관객분들이 있어야 게임이 잘 돼가지고 노간주 하고 나서부터 생각이 막 그동안 그 팬분들이 봐주셔야지 스스로 더 잘 되고 그런 느낌? 제가 한번 이런 말을 한 적이 있었거든요. 그 팬분들이 오셔야 약간 직관이 풀려야 내가 좀 더 잘해진다 라는 생각을 갖고 있었는데 확실히 그 팬분들이 오시니까 긴장돼서 못한 것 같아요 오늘은.
From the beginning.
야식스 마셔도 돼. 아니 너 아프리카 소속이잖아. 아 유니폼 입을 거야. 한번 해야지 그럼. 네. 아 저는 아프리카 소속이 아니야. 꽂혔다면 쏟아부. 뱀픽이요? 다 제 손바닥에 있는 것 같아요. 네.
이신영한테 두들겨 맞고 코드로 왔는데 기분이 어떠신지?
세팅 좀 하러 갈게요. 근데 그때 키보드한테 화풀이를 다 해가지고 지금 마음에 가지고 있는 건 없습니다. 16강 올라가면 제가 뽑을 수 있는 기회가 오면 제가 뽑으려고.
뽑는 이유는?
좀 이겨내고 싶어가지고.
들어갔는데 안 보여. 오 이게 내려서 뭐야? 와! 연땅. 보이가 생산이 어렵습니다. 취재.
김도호도 오늘 조기 전역했다고 하니까
눈물 들어온다.
토스들의 복귀에 대해서 어떤 생각이세요?
근데 이게 거기서 토스의 사기성이 나오는 거예요. 지금 토스들만 복귀하잖아요.
영봉이 형, 상준님 해가지고 또 성일이 형도 있고.
아 좀 궁금하긴 해요. 성적이 좋아서 얼마나 잘할지.
배우지 유형만 돼도 토스는 뭐 하는 게 없기 때문에.
저거는 기본인가?
저그는 300은 돼야죠. 최소 300은 최소.
저거는 복귀하면 안 돼요.
동영이 어떻게 돼요?
동영이 이번 예선 보세요.
동영이 형 토스였으면
보이지도 않잖아요.
사람들은 재능러가 너무 많아서 징징은 안 될게. 워낙 다들 잘해서.
저거가 사귄 것 같아? 병렬이가 사귄 것 같아?
정렬이가 사귀고 다른 쪽은
너무 힘들어요.
저거 선수들이 연습을 요즘 안 한다는 얘기를 다 해?
연습을 하기가 싫어요. 그냥 레드에 죄다 토스거든요. 복귀해가지고.
그건 진짜 토스밖에 없어. 토스 저장했으면 1등이었어 이번이었어. 진짜로.
지금 2등으로 올라와서 명호 형 만났는데 토스로 올라왔으면 1등으로 올라갔어.
몇 살까지 딱 저거 해볼 생각이야?
올해 맞죠. 올해 안에 밸런스 패치 없다. 바로 토스.
올해 가장 불행한 대진의 사나이로 꼽히는 거 어떻게 생각하시죠?
저는 GSL 저를 사랑하는 줄 알고 있었는데 여태까지 약간 좀 저 혼자만의 착각이었다라는 생각이 좀 지배됐고, 이제 첫 시즌 때 박명호 만나고 이제 지금 이제 두 번째 시즌 때 성욱이 형 만나고, 막 다음 시즌까지 이러면은 저는 진짜 난동을 부리던 게임으로 못 이기니까 약간 다른 수로 이겨야 되지 않을까. 제가 해적이고 성욱이 형이 그 만화만 봐도 이제 해적이 약간 이제 정의로 나오고, 전 정의는 승리한다고 생각하기 때문에.
진짜 이 헤어스타일을 어떻게 하게 된 건지.
많은 사람들이 이제 저희 머리에 대해서 뭐라고 하는 건 잘 알고 있어요. 근데 제가 개인 방송을 할 때도 이제 팬분들이 이제 계속 오시면 제가 알아서 하겠습니다.
차라리 아싸리 길면 괜찮을 것 같아요.
알겠습니다. 그러면 다음 시즌은 더 길게 한번.
멋진 헤어스타일 기대할게요.
알겠습니다.
지금 구성욱 선수가 30% 지각된데 지각 중인데
이게 승자입니다. 자신감 있는 사람이 실격해야 되는 거 아닙니까? 선수로서의 그게. 안녕하세요. 왔네요, 바로. 안녕하세요.
머니 사기 포전의 틀을 또 바꿔주는 겁니다. 이런 플레이도 가능하다라는 걸 취재! 필드 아티스트 원희삭 차례 천적 수정선을 잡아내면서 코너스에 진출합니다. 엉머리에 적단 새로운 세상을 찾아서
Round of 16. Trap. Special. Party. Solar. 2021 GSL Season 2. Code S. Africa TV. Freak Up Studio. Live.
I like this music.
Oh, yeah.
That music starts playing right when the pylon walks in at the ramp and blocks the drone out.
Dude, that was crazy. That needs to be fixed.
Oh, you mean so that all the ramps can be blocked with one pylon? I agree, Artosis.
Yeah. Stuff like that is so utterly broken. That's why destructible plates are there.
Yeah, that is correct.
There was this strategy that was happening literally at the end of the beta, the beginning of the actual release of StarCraft 2, where you'd put 2 bunkers at the bottom of the ramp. It was completely unbeatable.
Yeah.
It was the most broken thing in the game, and like Terran would just do it against Zerg. It's actually, Morrow did it to me in Germany for the first IM event. I actually played in it, and he did that to me, and I think that might have been the last tournament that didn't have destructible plates at the bottom of the ramp, because it was like, you just look at it, you're like, oh, this is unbeatable. But yeah, that was unbeatable for Solar. That's like actually really unfortunate. Like Parting, like he would be a good lawyer, you know?
Yeah,
he just finds this
he
one
would
little
find
clause
the loophole and be like, here you go.
Yeah, get you right out of jail or put you right into jail, whatever it is he's doing.
All right, guys, PvP time. Parting versus Trap. Let's see if this one is as crazy as the last one. The winner goes on to the round of 8 in the GSL. Only 2 spots left.
Party.
Parting, I like the hair. Kind of a Benjamin Franklin look going there.
Yeah.
I could see him.
Africa Freaks. Trap.
You know, in a lightning storm with a kite and a key on it, cannon rush and a Zerg on a ramp.
Oh, absolutely.
1 pylon block. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's how you make lasers back in those days, you know? This could be a very good PvP, really.
I almost don't know what to expect. I mean, both these guys are so good at this matchup specifically. Excuse me. Yeah, both these guys are so good at this matchup specifically. And PvP in StarCraft 2 has so many branches within the matchup. There's so many different ways to open, and then all those different openers vary with how they interact with each other, that this should be a lot of fun.
Looks like Trap has taken a reasonable winning record in the last 5 years against Party, but I wouldn't let that really influence what we're going to be seeing here. Yeah, I think like everyone would probably agree that Trap is the best Protoss in the world right now, including Parting, but
yeah,
Parting's type of micro and killer instinct and cheesiness is quite good for PvP, so.
Of course, this is a group you want to get out of as quickly as possible. Everybody is very good, and that includes Parting as well. I mean, I know he just cheesed out Solar, but you can't really recycle those builds back into the game.
No.
Game 2 maybe a little bit more, but Game 1, no. That's done. And I'm not saying Parting is incapable of playing a solid game. It's just, you know, you want to take the wins and then move on.
Yeah.
I think Trap, if we had to pick a favorite here, I'd probably say he is the guy to watch for.
Look how cute that is. He trapped the probe.
Yeah, one
trapped
body block there with the probe.
Yeah, and you threw that little thing down so you couldn't drill out, and now the probe gets to die. Whereas his probe gets away. What's up?
Yeah, and so Trap has his probe out on the map, whereas Parting does not, which does matter in PvP. You really are trying to fish for a lot of information early on.
Yeah.
A couple switches in units you make or tech that you get can drastically change the trajectory of a game. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see if Trap can use this to his advantage. But right now, I'm liking this game for him.
Yeah, but looking at what Parting's doing, when you see 3 sentries this early on, that's basically unlimited scouting.
Right.
And Parting's too good to scout something and not know how to hold on. So this game looks to me like it is easily going to go to 3 bases, and it is like, look, a Forge gets thrown down immediately by Parting because he's getting a good scout off, and I guarantee you we're going to see a Forge in like 2 seconds here from Trap. There it is. Like, I mean, just the amount of sentries and then the forges tell this entire story. So likely get into third bases relatively quickly, and maybe we can start to see a little bit of deviation, like if someone wants to go Immortals as opposed to just going more charge lots. There's a little bit of a choice nowadays.
Yeah, this should be a long, drawn-out game. You're right, Artosis, especially with the forges coming down and everything else. And I dig it. You know, Parting really doing a pretty big shift here in play style from the previous best of 3. Going to go into a macro PvP. Now, there's a couple different unit comps we can see. We've seen some people sort of avoid the Robotech and try to tech past that. And we've seen some people that like to sit on it and really build up a lot, like going into Immortals and then sometimes Disruptors.
Yeah. It's been a lot more trendy lately to just kind of go for a lot of charge lots, a lot of gateways and whatnot. We'll see who chooses what.
It seems like you want to try to go for that and expand behind it ahead of them.
Yeah.
And then kind of camp outside of their side of the map and wait for an attack that can benefit you.
Now, Parting throws down his third Nexus. We don't see that for Trap as of yet. The Robo comes down after the third Nexus, but we see Trap actually with a couple gates, which kind of takes up the minerals that his Nexus would have been.
So now I wonder, is Parting actually that safe for this? Because obviously one player's expanding and the other's not, and he scouts it right now. You know, usually that means that the player that's not expanding spent money making gateways. No, never mind. Trap going to match this expansion instead of trying to go for a push.
Yeah, and he threw that down right after seeing Partings as well. So he's actually like, a lot of the things he's doing, like the Forge and the third Nexus, feel in some ways to be responses.
I agree.
But the thing is, the game is extremely close. The sentries are just making that occur, right? Like the amount of hallucination scouts that we see going across the map. Charge now, on the way here for Parting. It's up a couple probes, has that third Nexus finishing. We do have an Immortal for Trap. And there's
an Immortal there
as well.
for Parting too.
Okay.
So right now, I mean, the production tabs seem like you're constantly mirroring each other's behavior. In a race that is still neck and neck right now in development, we don't really have kind of that fork in the decision tree on either side that's going to tell us that we have one guy going for one thing while the other player is going for something pretty different. Right now, this appears to be basically a very passive powering macro game, and all this kind of we all got to this point because of the way that Parting opened up and then the way that Trap responded to that. By basically not taking any risks and instead just trying to gobble up more resources and position on the map. And I think we're going to have a little bit more of that before things start to get really interesting.
It's kind of hilarious watching when you both have 3 sentries, right? At this level, no one's gonna screw it up and like not figure out what's going on.
Well, I mean, there's no point in trying to hide a base. There's no point in trying to do something sneaky with tech. So in a way, both sides are being kept extremely honest here.
Yeah. It's kind of like overlords flying over each other's bases, except
they're free.
On steroids.
Yeah. They're faster, they're free, and
and they're never ending.
Yeah. And you can continue to attack while doing it, and it's not an issue at all.
Bunch of gates on both sides getting that +2 attack upgrade. Prism coming out for Parting. Ton of gates going to be finishing up here for Trap momentarily. 63 probes to 60. I mean, it is completely neck and neck right now. It's funny to watch them move their army back and forth.
Yeah.
Like, you want to keep busy, you kind of want to have it moving and stuff, but truly this is
probably one of the least eventful PvPs we've casted so far in a while.
Which,
it's fine, by the way.
The thing is, they're playing it correctly.
Yes.
Which is actually why it's so uneventful. If you had weaker players, one of them would have been like, okay, now I'm going to attack. It's like, you both see exactly what each other are doing and are doing the same build order. So there's not actually a window for that, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
there should not be, unless one of you is way better than the other. All right.
Okay, we've got Trap on the move now. Keep in mind that Trap does have an extra base. I think Party's going to move in at 12 o'clock, but it seems like Trap might be a few paces ahead in this race right now.
Look at their armies. Look at the unit tab, right?
Yeah,
it is as close as you can even get.
Yeah.
Like, we see 3 more Stalkers for Parting right now, but like everything's just as their warping rounds come, right? Like
Yeah.
we're just seeing these tiny, tiny changes. But you're right, the
This
fourth
is
base
with the 4 Archons.
Well, the whole time they're kind of playing in such a way, like this is so mapped out, but they're playing in such a way while they're scouting each other that they have something that could attack if their opponent did anything wrong, but can defend if their opponent does anything aggressive.
It does seem like Trap has got a little bit more of the initiative on the map.
Yeah.
And that can end up being a major factor as we move forward here in this game.
He's actually somehow gotten like 10 more supply, so that's pretty big.
And he's just going to attack right in here. Now, the Archons are extremely well positioned here for parting, but it does seem like if the Zealots can actually slip through, this could be a ton of damage. And honestly, it just seems like parting barely does not have enough.
Yeah.
And almost like a Dragon Ball Z-esque fight, the two beams hitting each other, but one overpowers the other. Trap, I think, although it was never really apparent in this game, was a little bit quicker on the macro, a little bit more on top of his multitasking.
He also threw hallucinated Archons into there, which is kind of nice for tanking, but yeah, that was impressive.
Had a little bit more and kind of overpowered him.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, honestly, we have so many different games in GSL, but this really illustrates when someone's macro is simply superior.
Yeah.
They're both playing this almost single-player-esque style of powering up and upgrading and making gateways and having the right number of probes and everything. But in a race that really is kind of you pitted against yourself, especially when you're not really engaging each other, Trap just had more and basically has a tempo advantage. Parting did not lose any expansions, but he has certainly lost a foothold on any way that he can move around the map, and that's going to really be underlined when we see Trap take the 5th base.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely, Trap did outplay him so far here. He also kept his 3 sentries alive, so he definitely can still get some of that scouting done.
He's also kept 2 of the 3, well, I'm sorry, he has 3 Immortals is what I'm trying to say. Parting has 1.
Yeah.
And so the Immortals are one of these units that absolutely indicate who's ahead. And seeing that there's 3 to 1 is pretty huge. Now the Disruptors are here. Disruptor shots are going to be very important coming into this game because that could entirely turn the game on its head. War Prism is going to get away.
Yeah, nice try blinking over to get rid of it, but doesn't quite do it. Now here comes Trap to that 4th base. He has Disruptors
shots coming out. And his Disruptor shots do fire first. The Disruptor's lagging behind right now here for Parting. He needs to send these through immediately. He has not fired them yet, and they both go down.
Oh, just not controlling quite well enough here, unfortunately. It does take a bit of damage there, but is now chasing Trap back. I don't think he can do too much here, punish-wise.
Damn!
Yeah. Oh
my God!
Yeah,
Trap is just doing the dance a little bit better over here in the middle of the map. And I think Trap's counterpunch could come in here in a second. He's got Zealots, Archons, everything else to try to hit this 12 o'clock spot. And I don't know if he can actually hold this. Oh my God! Well, it kills the Disruptor anyway.
Yeah, it's good enough. Targets down the other ones, which is kind of nice. All right, so throws out his own. He's going to start picking a lot of this off. So Parting, not dead actually, gets slightly ahead as far as army supply goes after that engagement. That's kind of surprising. Dark Shrine's on the way for both sides. Parting already with DT Blink on the way, which can be very, very strong in the late game of PvP. And suddenly, Tasteless, like it felt, I would agree with you, it really felt like Trap was outdoing Parting for a bit. But now we have Parting sitting here on +3 attack. He's got more army supply, and when we're getting into this funny composition where it's Blink, Stalker, Disruptor, you have to look at the game a little bit differently.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think a lot of this changed the moment we saw the attack fumbled up at 12 o'clock. Hey, great snipe there here for Trap, taking out 2 Disruptors, denying 2 potential future opportunities to have a devastating amount of damage there on the rest of the army. Parting moves down over here to the southern position and wants to pounce on the Nexus. I think the number of Disruptors here for Trap should keep him safe. Got to be careful when you do all the blinking at once. Oh my God! Oh, he's fine.
Well, he snaps the Disruptor, but yeah, at least the Stalkers got out of the way as quickly as they could.
He should be able to blink on top of this. He has the first blink here. More Disruptors are going to come up. He has to blink away. The Archon can be sniped, but it's not dead yet.
Ooh, just gets it out of there. A couple DTs entering the fray right now. And
Oh,
he does
there's
have
no
DT
cannon.
blink. Ooh, that's
Oh,
really
I didn't
nice.
even notice.
That's super nice.
Oh, this is bad. Okay, so Trap reacting pretty quickly here. He could try to use a disruptor to hit that. That's never easy though.
No.
Against DTs.
Yeah, I guess if we. Okay, there is his observer, so he can deal with that. But nice little usage of those DTs. 6 being warped in from Trap himself.
Oh, he's got to be careful.
Ooh.
Staying out of that range. Only a few disruptors up here, and their shots unable to connect. Here come those disruptor shots now here from Trap across the map. The Zealots coming through here to disrupt the mining are shut down immediately by the Dark Templars. This has been an extremely neck-and-neck game. It looks like Parting's 3 o'clock base does not, in fact, have anything mining at it yet. It's more of a position he controls and less of a place he's milking resources from. Did we get DT Blink?
Yes, both sides.
Okay.
There's a lot of DTs for Trap right now. But I tell you what, the DTs are kind of funny, right? Like, if you blink them on the disruptors, you can actually kill them so quickly, it's insane.
Basically one-shotting the disruptors. Now the Stalkers are going to come in here for a counterattack.
Pretty nice hits there from Parting. Backs up now.
Oh,
his own DTs going in on top of the cannons.
Oh, I think the Zealots are just barely going to win that. And a blink on top over here with the DTs coming forward.
Oh
Parting
my God.
suddenly getting sandwiched in this position as the disruptors come forward.
Oh, these disruptors are amazing, as well as that sandwich made between the 2 blink units.
Oh, he got the cannon, so he's going to have to evacuate his probes from that spot over there. And, you know, Trap is pushing him away, but look at the supply difference. It was 128 a second ago. It's spiked back up to 144, but big picture here is that Parting does have a bigger army.
Trap coming down, wants to save this Nexus, and will end up doing so.
Yeah, we need to get a pylon back over here. Oh, he gets away. The DT that got away. Nope, he gets killed off.
Turn back to fight for more. Got a little bit arrogant there. Look at this, 4 observers.
Okay, he's going to just push into this area over here. Parting is growing into the top left with the counterattack over here. I think there should be a recall ready, but let's see.
Gonna warp in a few units here. The observer's going to allow him to see those DTs very easily. His own DTs doing the counterattack. Blink on top of the probes. Parting is getting huge damage done. Trap has to walk home.
Parting actually might have gotten to the point where Trap can't recover because this base is going to go down. He got away with the majority of his army. He kept that base at the center right, the 3 o'clock base, alive. And it seems like if Trap makes 1 or 2 more missteps, the game is going to be over.
What a wonderful game this has been.
Well, you know what? It goes to show you what happens if you do have a passive opening, how exciting the later part of the game can actually be.
You actually get so much stuff going on. Oh my God. Just
are you kidding
oh
me?
my God. Kills everything with 1 shot here. Now, Parting, are you going to be able to actually knock this back? He's going to lose his robos, that is incredibly painful. Parting right now does have 11 blink DTs. Look, he's targeting down. Oh my God, he gets in on top of the disruptors, but they hit some huge shots here. DTs going forward. It gets rid of all the observers, I believe. Yeah, all of Trap's observers are gone.
Yeah, well, this is going to buy him some time. That was an insane connection.
Dirtiest shot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, and there's no DTs left.
It literally hit every DT. Now, workers, let's take a look at that. 77 to 49. That's a pronounced difference here.
Yeah, it is.
So, you know, Trap, although he's hanging on, you got to look below the surface here and realize that production is going to continue to rise here for Parting. He has so many gates and, you know, he's got robos and everything else here. He basically, after every fight settles, can produce more unless either Trap gets more probes or does something else to get ahead. It kills off his opponent's probes. But this attack over here into the main, this could be insane.
Yeah,
he could end up shutting out the infrastructure.
Look, he has an observer here as well, so DTs are not going to be the way to defend it.
Now, there's a couple pylons that are basically powering everything. So he's got, I like the disruptor at the ramp too. It's really smart.
Yeah, it's so hard to actually come up here and engage. Oh man, he's got to get rid of the observers if he's going to win this, right? Oh, that was just so crazy. All right, does have enough damage, so gets rid of Trap's army here. Trap's still behind after all that. Seemed like a very good attack, though. Parting spreading his probes out to these bases.
I don't know how many minerals are left in the center left, but I do know this third base should be mining out pretty quickly here. Again, a pretty devastating blow to the infrastructure of Parting, but Parting has so much of the map, so many locations that Trap needs to eliminate, and he does have the bigger army overall.
It's on the space elevator right now. A lot of cannons, batteries coming down. A couple robos being made again here for Parting as he realizes he probably needs Disruptor Tech once again. What a wild game this has been. The cost efficiency has actually been pretty close to even.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, Trap is blowing me away by how well he's playing this, considering, but I think this game just ended.
Yeah,
I was in the middle of praising him, and then all of his stuff died. GG, okay. Parting.
Oh my God.
Sugar Bear City.
I know. Okay, that was a really cool game, and I think it really showcased the types of players they are because they were completely mirrored for an extremely long amount of time, and during that more mechanical, more methodical, more standard time, Trap actually did get ahead. He got up 10 supply, even with 2 of his 4 nexuses were slower, and those were earlier ones, so yeah, his forge was a little bit slower, but he still got ahead. Now, as soon as the game took a turn into chaos from the kind of pre-planned, like this is how you play, that's where Parting started to make up ground very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Tactically, he was very sound. He was running all over the place, and you know, chaos is really where he thrives. So, able to take Trap down in that game. What an awesome PvP.
Yeah, I like the way that you summed that up as well. Like, yeah, Trap did look like kind of the cleaner, more proper player that was able to develop and macro up, but the decision making and the control there from Parting in the end is really what actually managed to put him in such an astounding position. And I've always thought of StarCraft as like there's 2 points in the game, right? You start out with your build, you're following these patterns. Eventually there's some kind of a conflict. Sometimes it happens right at the start, like you get cannon rushed. Other times it's when like your timing push is coming out. And from that moment onward, then the game is more chaotic, right? You've had the armies fight or somebody interrupted somebody else's development. And then you're in a very different game. And I think Trap showed when it comes to just following every sequence in the build and really being on top of every split second, you know, making sure that you get this building out, that you have an expansion ready, that the upgrade, as that finishes, the next one comes out. He's very good at that. But Parting, extremely good in a chaotic game.
Yeah.
And that's what won him that.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, it is pure chaos at that point, right? Once you're through the kind of big macroed out armies, when it's a lot of blink T's and DTs and disruptor
blink
shots.
Blink T's, man.
Blink T's, blink Tastelesses.
That's right, man. Imagine Tastelesses with blink.
People wonder what DT stands for. Dark Tasteless.
Dark Tasteless. I like that. I would certainly use my restroom break on the commercial a little bit more if we had a blink.
Oh, God.
For casters.
Do you remember when we were casting Heroes of the Dorm?
I'll tell the story. Hold on. Don't do it yet. So we are going to go to Oxide here for game number 2, and it should be a good one. Let's continue on with the winner's match in the GSL.
Party. A Freak of Freaks. Trap.
So, a long time ago, was this 5 years ago or 6 years ago?
Something like that. Yeah, 5 maybe.
We casted Heroes of the Storm for an event called Heroes of the Dorm, which was a collegiate league finals, national finals, where the winners would get their college tuitions paid for by Blizzard. And so we were there because we've been casting for a long time, just doing other games, and we were familiar with Heroes of the Storm as well. And we had these long rehearsals, super long, where you and I were mostly just joking around during it. But go on, you tell.
I thought you were going to tell.
All right, I'll tell. No, but at some point,
you remind me of my kids, where it's like I'm trying to tell someone, they're like, no, Dad, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then like they
And then I
can't
get in
quite
there.
tell the story, and they're
I
like,
start to
"Okay,
realize,
Daddy, you
like,
go ahead."
I'm just filling it in with like meaningless details, but we had the
Tasteless renamed all of the heroes into
Yes.
Tasteless IDs, and it was very funny, and that reminded me of it. Dark Tasteless.
there was Zarataste.
Zarataste.
There was Tasteless C.
That was the best one. That was. There's just something very fun. What was that tasteless dance that we used to do at events? Where everyone would squat and say tasteless, like everyone take turns squatting and saying tasteless.
Nick Plot, that one.
Oh, Nick Plot, yeah,
Nick
that's
Plot,
what we said. Yeah,
that was.
oh God.
I don't know if that joke's going to make sense.
No, it won't. It won't translate.
This
But
was,
just know that wherever we are, the jokes all turn into tasteless, thinking everything is about him.
We had the time we worked in France, and we were calling me Taston, like Gaston. All right, this is an insane game.
Yeah.
Enough about us. On to this completely bananas opening.
Yeah.
This is a Stargate right outside the front door.
Okay, this was actually, as shield batteries came out, one of the earlier builds that we were seeing. Now, this Zealot is slowing it down like a little bit here. Notice the Stalker coming out, going after the probe. Definitely the right choice right there.
Yeah, gets the probe. Another probe is going to have to be sent. I believe one's already inbound. There it is. Oh, he cannot afford to lose.
Dude, this is crazy right now. So what he wants to do is a big Void Ray shield battery push against this kind of greedy, fast expansion type of build.
Keep in mind that all the tech is right here in the front. The cybernetics core, if that's killed off, is a hard reset on the Protoss's development. So there's a lot at stake here before you even start to have to worry about the Nexus staying alive.
Yeah, and right now he's just going for Mass Gateway Stalker, which maybe that ends up working. Maybe not. Like the new probe is coming back. Yeah, he's just gonna get healed up. Like he's trying to whittle down. Like he needs to put as much damage as he possibly can right now because he needs those shield batteries going low if he's gonna break through here. Looks like we actually get a supply block for Trap. Oh my God, he was microing so hard he's supply block Tasteless.
Yeah, and that might be fatal in the big picture.
That
you
is
really
painful.
can't afford to lose a beat here. And so all the Trap can do now is try to get enough batteries to sandbag the progress of the attack. The Zealot's microed back and healed up here with the battery. And the second Void Ray comes out, and if the third one can come out any quicker, that may be a death sentence here. Again, the bottleneck that's been created at the ramp is also punishing whenever Trap tries to retreat.
All right, another Stalker on the way right now. Trap, he has a lot of damage output, but look at this. The Void Ray is starting to really get their damage down. Has to pull back into range of the other shield battery. Oh, this one shield battery being targeted down is amazingly done. He does get that picked off. Oh.
He needs a little bit more damage. Oh, he needs to heal it up again. It's so low. But is this an overextension here by Trap?
Oh my God. Is Parting just going to do it?
Sugar Bear.
Third
Sugar
Void
Bear.
Ray here. I think he's going to do it, Tasteless. Trap does not have that much left. He's warping in a few more Stalkers, but 3 Void Rays is a lot of damage very quickly. His shield batteries are getting very, very low, though.
Oh my God, the pylon.
Yeah, that would be a big kill. Oh, man. Okay, that unpowers 3 shield batteries
Oh my
and a
God,
gateway.
it's going to get worse. GG, Parting takes it.
Okay, Parting.
Sugar Bears
4-0
rejoice.
into the round of 8. Craziness.
Madness.
He said to me it was 60% that he moves on tonight. Should have said 100%.
He's Sugar Bear. Like Suge Knight, Sugar Bear. He's done it, Artosis. I mean, Trap, that's just a rough loss. And talk about 2 very different games. We went all the way into a super late game, epic PvP macro game. And then Parting mixed it up, went straight into an aggro Void Ray build, obliterating the tech at the entrance, punishing what is supposed to keep a fast expanding Protoss safe. And now he moves on to the round of 8, leaving only 1 spot left with our 3 players left in the round of 16.
Dude, craziness. I think Trap might not make it out of this group here tonight.
That is wild. We're going to go now to an interview that the Sugar Bears want to see. Let's go.
Wow, what a performance. Parting defeats Trap, and he moves on in first place. Congratulations. Thank you. Wow, sincere congratulations, Parting. This is your round of 8 after 1 year. How do you feel?
1년이나 됐나요?
I didn't know it's been a year already.
했네요, 제가.
You know, I've been playing really bad in the past.
생각하고 그래서
제가 좀 무시받았던 거를 알고 있기 때문에
So until now, players
진짜
look down on
제가
me.
이번 시즌 하루에 50게임, 60게임 정도 맨날 하거든요.
So this season, I've always
그래서
played like 50, 60 games a day.
군대 가기 전에 팬분들이랑 약속한 거 GSL.
And I promised my fans that I'll lift up the GSL trophy before I go to the military. So I really want to win this season. So I've been playing like 50, 60 games a day.
네, 연습의 결과다.
Wow, this
원희석
is
선수는
your
이렇게
practice bearing fruit.
음악도 생기고 굉장히 부러울 따름이에요. 음악 마음에 드세요?
Do you like the music today, party?
대진도 안 좋게 이렇게 계속 올라왔는데
the bracket hasn't been good.
역시 저를 좀 사랑해 주시긴
But it feels like GSL does love me.
화석이기 때문에
I love the music.
안에서
And I'm like a fossil in GSL. I've been here for so long.
감사합니다.
오늘 경기가 운영부터 또 빌드까지 완벽했습니다.
And today your build, your macro, your micro, everything has been fantastic.
2세트는 빌드로 이겼어요.
In the second build, you were able to defeat Trap with the build. So what was the background behind the strategy?
많이 안한 것 같아요.
I haven't been practicing too much PvP. To be honest, I only played 2.
하자. 왜냐면 성욱이 형.
So my mindset was to just go against him in terms of basics, just fundamentals.
사실 오늘 주 메인은 그 강민수 선수랑 이제 2위.
My main strategy was to defeat Solar in the PvZ, and that turned out to be good.
강민수 선수와의 경기였다.
So let's talk about the Solar match. You were able to counter rush the opponent twice, 2 times consecutively.
저희가 하기에 좀 난이도가
And you were able to also one pylon Solar. So what was the background behind the cannon rush today?
그 강자포 러시 하시는 분들은 아실 텐데.
Well, I'm sure the cannon rush users know.
각각 상황마다 진짜 개념이 많아요.
But every situation is different on how to cannon rush.
사람만 할 수 있는.
This cannon rush build can only be achieved by smart people, super smart people.
그래서 요새 좀 저그들이 선을 좀 많이 넘어가지고.
So recently, Zergs have been playing too aggressively, so I felt like I needed to punish them.
잊혀져가지고 그런지 너무 오늘 쉽게 이긴 것 같네요.
And today was an easy win for me.
하나로 그렇게 입구를 탁 막아버리는 건 어떻게?
How did you come up with the idea of one pylon blocking the Zerg?
저는 화석.
I said before, I'm a fossil of StarCraft 2. I know everything about this game.
기본 소양이었어. 그냥 입구에 그 파일럿 러시 되는지 안 되는지 그냥 그.
I needed to experiment on every map on how I can pylon block.
이게 그리고 맵 메이커 분한테 너무 감사드리고.
And I'm also very thankful to the map maker for GSL Oblivion.
네, 정말
I'm really thankful to him. Well, brilliant game for you today, party.
자, 이렇게 1년 만에 8강.
Well, this is your round of 8 after 1 year.
C조의 2위 선수 박한솔 선수.
And you'll be playing against Zaun, the second place of Group C. And Zaun has been showing great momentum these days. So you know him well. So how do you view Zaun these days?
한솔이가 저는 예전부터 한솔이가 이렇게 잘해지기 전부터 한솔이한테.
Well, even before Zaun was this good, I always told him.
제가 뭐 대단한 선수는 아니지만.
I'm not a great player at all, but.
안 되는데.
There are a few pro players I admit, but Zaun is one of the players I really admit, and he's a good player. So I always told him to practice harder, and then you'll be a great player. And then, I was right. He's a great player now. And your disruptor micro was fantastic today. So if you go head-to-head against Zaun, it will be very interesting to watch, party. So anything you want to say before you go?
일단 또 팬분들이 또 무시를 했더라고요.
Well, first of all, the fans thought I wouldn't be able to advance. I'm so angry. I'm so infuriated.
해외 팬분들 항상 제 채널 와서
The foreign fans always come to my stream and they flame me that I'm not going to be able to advance. But I'm really happy to have advanced today. And I'm gonna stream today, and I'm gonna say thanks to my Sugar Bears. And also thanks to my sponsors QL and Corsair. Once again, party, congratulations on the round of 8. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Parting moving on, looking stronger than ever, and again, in a very parting-esque victory, right?
Yes, 3 of his games very, very cheesy, and then 1 big macro game.
Yeah, again, showing that even though he's known for doing really aggressive, really cheesy builds, it doesn't mean he's not capable of playing endgame.
Yeah, it was cool to see him give some respect to Zaun as well.
Yeah,
showing that he really is the real deal coming up right now. Should be a great PvP match in that round of 8.
Can't wait. We are going to go to our break now. When we come back, the losers match. Don't go away.
we don't wanna go war. Only make hapla, we don't wanna go war. We only make Give it louder, let me hear ya. You say you want that thing, minus me say want that thing plus. Two shots in the air, boom, boom.
이렇게 좋은 날엔 홈캠핑이지. 홈캠핑엔 고기, 고기엔 칠성사이다. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함. 완벽하네. 칠성사이다.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스강. 반도 역시 가스강이 대세.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와, 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
야채 착착, 당토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥. 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
Round of 16. Trap. Special. Party. Solar. 2021 GSL Season 2. Code S. Africa TV, Freak Up Studio, live. 2021 GSL Season 2.
GSL returns now with the elimination match. Special versus Solar coming up. A TVZ for us. I think one that, again, is also hard to call.
Yeah.
All these matches look like they maybe should or at least could be pretty even.
Yeah.
I think Special...
Although Parting is kind of throwing a wrench into that.
Well, what's funny is, like, we knew that Parting could get out first, but I would have put that as one of the more unlikely outcomes out of all the possible results we could have and how this pans out. And I'm pleasantly surprised. I think he's going to be a great addition in the round of 8. Now we have two players fighting to survive in Group D because Special and Solar, one of these two guys is going to get eliminated.
Yeah. Special was not sounding super confident about whether or not he would play Solar, like if he could beat him or not. But the thing is, he is a very good TVZ player, so.
Yeah, he's very strong.
I don't want to count him
Solar too, though. We're going to go to Blackburn for map 1 and find out who survives to go on to the final match in Group D. Let's go.
Storm Gaming, Special. KaiZ Gaming, Solar.
Okay. Our TVZ's on now. Special. You know, he looked very strong in his match against Trap, but Trap just looked like he's not going to lose to Terrence.
Yeah.
You know, in the first game,
he certainly looked like that.
And with Solar, I feel like I have no idea really where he's at because Parting came out of left field.
Well, Solar hasn't actually played any StarCraft today yet.
Yeah.
Maybe he played practice games before he came in, but so far in the studio, we just started him in the loser bracket, and here he is.
Yeah, we basically said, you want to play some StarCraft? And he's like, hell yeah, I do. And then we pushed him into a cage with a bear, and he's, you know, now he's going to get to probably play a normal game.
Solar, okay, so your first match is going to start soon. I want you to close your eyes for a moment. He's like, what? No, just listen to me, Solar. Close your eyes. He just closes his eyes. Say, okay, now think about playing a game of StarCraft as EVP. He's like, okay, I'm thinking about it. Now think about the worst things that could ever happen to you and how angry you would be about that. He's like, okay, I don't like thinking about this, but I am. I'm like, okay, you can open your eyes. What maps do you want to veto against Special? That's basically where we're at right now.
Yeah, this is going to be probably a much more textbook TVZ here. Special is very good at this matchup. Solar, you know, he's got a couple different ways he's liked to play this. I've always liked Solar sort of march to his own beat.
Look where the factory is. That
just
factory is,
below the...
it's a little bit hidden, right?
It's pushed away a little bit, but I don't know if that's...
It means something because normally you would build it next to the reactor so that you could quickly get reactored Hellions out. That's like almost every single TVZ, but it's further away. I don't know. Is it just... I think it's going to make its own add-on right away. Maybe he's just going to throw it out Starport, make a couple mines to go with Marines?
Maybe he's got some kind of special little rush he wants to do here. I'm not entirely sure. He is continuing to make Marines now that the factory's done, and yeah, he is going to get another reactor, this time on the factory. The starport coming along, though. Is this something special, or is it just a micro deviation from what is in fact going to be a pretty normal game?
Well, just having no Hellions whatsoever is, you know, it's not that we never see it, it's just not really all that common. So I'm pretty unsure as to what's going to be going on here. You might be trying to make Solar think that he's going like a very bio-heavy thing, one of these weird 3-racks openers that you occasionally see. It's been a little bit trendy lately to make a bunch of Marines, like power up heavily on Marines, move out to force more units, then kind of meet up with medevacs. That's not what we're seeing here. Look at this, 2 medevacs. Okay, he's making a mine. Yeah, I guess he's going to have a funny amount of Marines for this, right? Like, he's going to have about... Yeah, I think what he's going to have is maybe 14 Marines and a mine in 2 medevacs going across the map, which is a very weird timing for that, right?
Yeah, well, I'm wondering, is this going to be a new normal, or what do we got? Like, the medevacs are going to come out now. I think they're actually waiting for just one more set of Marines. No, they're just going to go for it.
I think he left 2 Marines at home, maybe, something like that.
So the Lings are going to counter in here. Now, this is enough Lings that Special won't have the easiest time holding it. It looks like they do get chased away. Where's that? Okay, there it is. Medevac dropship coming out. He's going to land this over here, and he has to have turned around.
Yeah.
Now, the Baneling's nest is almost finished. So Banelings, you know, they make extremely fast. So I think this idea was pretty cool, but it doesn't seem like timing-wise this has thrown Solar off at all.
No, not so much. There is an armory on the way, as well as some reactor to Hellions. Possibly we'll see Hellbats join up.
Yeah, maybe it's like a Hellbat push, but in a different order. Looks like the Widowmine barely gonna get away. He needs to pick it up in the medevac. No, he doesn't.
Queen anti-air range is pretty crazy.
Yeah, could end up losing that. These Lings are gonna come in here. Looks like it should be a fairly easy hold here for Special. Not even really gonna lose that much of anything. A pretty poor counterattack coming in. The third base is being taken, and notice it's not
on location.
Yeah, it's not even hugging the upper right. It's basically being taken in a spot so that Terran has an easier time pushing. If you're pushing Zerg, you're also defending that base.
I think this is going to be a mech build. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, wow,
okay.
Look at that. Two more factories.
That was like way too late to just be on Reactor Marines, right? Like, you have to eventually start STEM. It's an important upgrade. Okay. 2 medevacs coming across. Trying to utilize this Liberator a little bit more. And here comes that double medevac Marine drop. They're going to fly way over the Spore here. Pretty good Liberator defense overall, I would say.
Yeah,
but nice movement as well.
Yeah, Special's been very on top of just shifting the Liberator over. Gonna get 3 kills. Eventually it is picked off. Now, Zerg is growing into the gold base location, north of the 3rd. And that's where I worry for Special. You know, the Zerg is always going to get their 4th base before the Terran, unless you're in a really weird game that the Zerg is probably moments away from losing. But with the gold base up, that's going to be a lot of Lings. Of course, you know, Baneling and Muta as well, but that might be enough that the Zerg could actually smash the 3rd base that the Terran has. Whenever you get that boost in minerals from a gold base, it's going to throw the Terran off.
Just trying to do a little bit of harassment to it, keep him pretty busy with these Marines in the medevacs, but 9 mutas on the way, so that is definitely something that can get ended pretty quickly. Drilling Claws on the way here, moving out. With some of these Hellions, I believe he actually has 2 armories, but he built the second one and then started +1, so he may have forgotten that he made it.
Special needs to be careful. There's like, I think at this point, almost 20 mutas are about to be out when these next 5 hatch here. He cannot be on the map with medevacs or anything else. Oh, this is awkward. Slow Hellions versus slow Banelings.
Bad dream. Right mines. Oh,
that
my
was
God.
sick.
Yeah, that was pretty sick mines right there. All right, tries to get the wall up, but unfortunately his Hellion blocks the path.
Oh,
the Baneling's going to get into the mineral line.
The Banes are going to try to intercept these SCVs.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
11 workers go down. 16 workers go down. Didn't have to be like this.
I think that's it.
Ouch, ouch.
Yeah.
Tough game.
Tough game. Maybe Special out on the map a little bit too long there. Not really appreciating that.
He just barely wasn't ready for all of that. And then the Banelings coming in, like, he tried to lift his depots, but actually a Hellion was standing on top of the last one, and he couldn't get it up. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. And kind of an interesting opener, though, like a different take on the opening of a mech build.
Yeah, Special is fighting for his tournament life right now. I don't know if he can recover. He's going to have to play a better game, though, than game one. I mean, Solar just ran him over in the last minute of that. It's just trampling him entirely. Romanticide is where Special has a chance to redeem himself. If he does not, he's out, and Solar goes on to face off against Trap. Our countdown has started. Our game's ready. Let's go to game 2.
Oh, forward depot.
Oh.
This might be one of those like forward barracks walled-in Reaper builds.
Yeah, we used to have these a little bit more often in the past.
Yeah, there's also like I've seen some BC openers that have like the factory as part of the wall up front. I think it's actually a double BC opener, but I can't quite recall. That's interesting, though, to see that right off the bat. Maybe it's just a CC first, then, if he brings the SCV back. But it's a pool first for Solar.
Oh, okay, so this is one of these funny moments where both players are doing builds outside of the norm.
Yeah.
And this can make for
oh, man.
some, well, especially if it's CC first, I think that this is obviously bad for the Terran.
This might be a disappointing night for Juan.
We might be in a commercial in a couple minutes here, guys. This is
oh, don't say that.
I am from the future. I am time traveling. I'm here. Hello. I'm from.
What a
hey,
waste to use your time travel on
It's
this.
me, Future Tasteless. Time Bones. I'm here from 5 minutes ago to tell you that I predict that I foresee that Lings will beat a Command Center first build.
Well, you know what? Maybe you coming here screwed it all up, and now it's going to change, and Juan's going to hold this.
I should have gone back and killed Hitler. Sorry about that, guys. I thought it'd be cooler to come here and just tell you guys that the results of this game, but I didn't really think that through. Sorry, everybody.
All right, the Lings are coming. A Marine is being made.
Yeah, look at our toast play-by-play this.
I think Special's not going to be super happy when those Lings get there, obviously. But you know what? Like, he's kind of going like a funny direction. Okay, he scouts what it is. He sees CC first. Are you going to finish the wall in time?
There is another depot being made, but it's... Oh. Ooh. Wait a minute.
Tasteless.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, there's a fact.
Get wrecked. Get riggedy wrecked.
Well, he's going to have a second Marine pop out in a second.
Riggedy, giggity. Reckedy, wiggity. Yep.
All right, Tastemeyer. So that gets held very, very well. He loses a Marine, holds off the 4 Lings. All right.
All right, so, you know that time traveling thing?
I told you that you changed the future.
It's actually impossible to time travel.
Can you even get back to your own timeline now?
No. I'm going to have to wait 5 minutes.
Well, I have to kill one of you now.
Yeah.
I've wanted this for so long.
To at least kill one of the Tastelesses.
I want to get rid of the one from my timeline. Is that okay, Future Tasteless?
You got to do the time cop thing where you push me into my old self because matter can't occupy the same matter. You know that rule?
Yeah, no, that's a real rule.
That's a...
You can't have 2 of the same matter.
Touching each other. Are you insane? Of course you can't have that.
The atoms.
Yeah. Go to school, you non-scientist.
Little group of speedlings coming over. Now, there is a 3rd CC on the way. The question with this is it going to be a BC opener? Because, like I mentioned before, like I swear I've seen something like this that was BC before.
Well, it's looking like it certainly could be with the starport about to finish.
It feels like you should go Banshee here, in my opinion.
Yeah?
Right? Nothing else seems... Like, Banshee would kind of shore up a lot of the holes in your defense.
It would give you also a pretty immediate counterattack play here.
Yeah, you could get some harass done with that. I like it. I hope that he goes Banshee. All right, Speed Overlord coming in. Yeah, there's no fusion core, so it does look like it's going to be Banshee. Barracks starting up. This is just such a greedy opener from Special. He definitely has the edge.
We just got to see how he plays in the longer game. You know, the last minute of that last game was brutal. Like, Special was playing pretty well and then just got trampled by Ling's Banes, and the Mutas flew in to kill off everything else. His army was kind of all over the map. He was a bit disjointed. I don't think he was really appreciating the mounting tech moment that the Zerg was taking, which is, by the way, the most common tech in the matchup, is Ling Muta Bane.
Sure.
You have to change your behavior on the map. Right before the Mutas come out, he didn't do that, so that's something else you want to watch for in the long run here. Now this time around, Terran's already getting a bunch more barracks. We're not going to have that kind of mech shift that I think we were basically in store for in game one.
Yeah.
So a couple factors are different here.
And it's actually, Romanticized generally considered a good map for mech overall, but skipping it here, and I think that's probably the right play, right? Like, I think you want to get your bio out as big and as quickly as possible in a situation like this when you got away with having, like, he's very advantaged from the build that he opened up with. Now both sides have 1-1 coming. Maybe just a couple seconds quicker here for Solar. He's going for that layer.
The
third production already here for Juan.
Yeah, the third CC is going to be landing over here. We're going to watch these upgrades fill up. The production is going to boost up just a little bit here for Special, and then we will probably see Special start to push out. Tempo-wise, you know, I think Terran in a pretty good spot, but Zerg not really far behind by any measure. Certainly it's too early to call, you know, who's going to take this. We haven't had any real action here. We're still waiting for basically the first Terran push to come out.
Yeah, and, well, 1-1 is going to be finishing up along with combat shields relatively soon here. See if he pushes out that time. The one thing we can definitely say for Solar is because there hasn't been much pressure, his creep spread's looking pretty solid. It's pretty far in front of his fourth.
Yeah, and that matters a lot for when Terran tries to push in. It can be subtle, but just having creep a little bit further out allows Lings to do stuff like this. Get a surround over there where you can't get away. Whoa!
Yeah, those Hellions coming in and roasting some.
So he unloads out here. Still trying to push in, still trying to get these creep tumors pushed back. What? I guess we...
Did he just not
I think
send...
he must have, either he didn't send or Banelings killed off SCVs, and I don't know which one it is.
I don't think any died. No, he's at, oh wait, he's at 47 workers?
Yeah, no, he definitely
Oh,
had
it must have then,
Banelings killing that. I guess
Yeah.
the Observer missed it. That does put a hamper on Special. Granted, most of these units he mustered were when he had a full amount of SCVs, so this push is a real threat, but if this push doesn't do much, Special will be playing from behind. Tank sieging up now, infantry beginning to move in. Baneling's speed is about 90% complete, so long before these tanks can siege up and shell the hatchery, the threat of Ling Baneling is going to be a very harsh reality. He's going to siege up here now, trying to morph some more Banes if he can. A Baneling drop is going to come in here at the natural that we're not going to see. There it is.
Gonna run this time, sending that back out. A lot of Marines very far forward now. Baneling's speed is done. And does defend against that, at least for now. I think it probably will just come back, though. Probably shift click back in. All right, is he going to try to clear it? Just clears like 2 units right there. Get on top of some of this with those Lings. Liberator joining the fray.
Okay, Ling's coming up now. And again, this is an incredible amount of Ling Bane here. The tanks are going to get surrounded. The infantry in the back is unable to cover it. And I mean, this push was just shut down.
Man, after such a strong opening, losing those SCVs, losing this push.
It's all on the back of that Baneling attack that killed off all those workers. So Special is basically behind in every conceivable metric. And it may get worse before it gets better, as these Lings are going to come in here and continue to surround. Baneling's coming forward here as well. He pulls away, but that will only allow the Lings to come down here into the third.
Still waiting for its chance here to kill more SCVs.
Good catch by your Observer. I actually didn't even realize. I thought that was shot down or something. So, you know, he could lose even more SCVs. But,
dude, 2-2 is about to finish for Zerg.
Yeah, and there's so many more Banes coming.
2-2 is going to be massive. Up 2 upgrades with this much Ling Bane. Solar's got more army supply, and it's Ling Bane.
Oh, dude, 1 tank versus all this? I don't think so. Zerg going to back up, get a little bit more. He's going to try to drop specials pulling away, but things are looking pretty dire.
Yeah, that 1 tank, man. Edmund Duke himself couldn't stop this onslaught. Here we go, the Ling Bane rolling in right now. A couple Liberators there to zone everything, but it doesn't matter.
Wow.
GG. Special eliminated first from the group, having a very tough night tonight. Whereas Solar finally at least got to play some StarCraft, and we'll go on to that final match.
And we're going to end this tonight with Solar versus Trap, which should be a really exciting matchup. I really want to see how it's handled. Definitely a disappointing day for Special. He, this was a really rough one. Thinking back even to the Trap games, it was one of those Terran experiences where you don't really get out of your base without losing everything.
Well, it's unfortunate because his opening was so cool. It was so good.
Yeah.
He had that edge. Lost the SCVs at the 3rd base, just maybe wasn't on top of it tonight as much as he should have been. But, you know, he'll be back in the next GSL, I have no doubt.
Yeah. That means one player's going to move on, the other one's out. The last match in the round of 16, Trap vs Solar, is next.
함께 모이면 홈파티. 홈파티엔 먹방. 먹방엔 칠성사이다. 맛있어. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함. 칠성사이다.
퇴근하고 뭐해?
퇴근하고? 오늘은 유셰프, 내일은 유러너, 주말엔 유목수.
그걸 다?
본캐부터 부캐까지 하고 싶은 게 많은 요즘 시대의 커피. 칸타타 콘트라베이스.
이번 주 등산 어때? 등산, 캠핑? 그래서 주말엔 낚시?
내가 낚인 거지.
그래도 나오니까 좋잖아.
일상에서 취미까지 나누고 싶은 게 많은 요즘 시대의 커피. 칸타타. 아이시스 8.0을 챙긴다는 건 건강한 생각까지 챙긴다는 것. 나를 움직이는 핑크 에너지. 아이시스 8.0. 아이시스 8.0을 연다는 건 조금 이른 아침을 연다는 것. 나를 움직이는 핑크 에너지. 아이시스 8.0.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
이렇게 좋은 날엔 홈캠핑이지. 홈캠핑엔 고기, 고기엔 칠성사이다. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함. 완벽하네. 칠성사이다.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스강. 반도 역시 가스강이 대세.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와, 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
야채 착착, 당토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥. 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
자, 준비되셨죠? 아, 형 언제나 준비되셨죠?
네, 됐습니다.
꽂혔다면 쏟아부어.
인생 직진 음료
하나씩 단체 개봉. 쏟아부어.
인생 음료
하나씩.
그러면 사이에서 사귀는 걸?
꽂혔다 안 꽂았다.
인생 음료
뭐야 이거? 포스가 느껴지십니까? 꽂혔다면
치료되는
내 포스가 느껴지십니까? 하나씩. 꽂혔다면 인생 음료.
이게 사의 맛이지. 기가 막히네.
꽂혔다면 쏟아져 인생 직진 음료
하나씩.
아, 맛있다. 맛있네. 기분이 좋아요.
인생 음료.
쏟았다면 쏟아부.
잠깐만. 쏟았다면 쏟아부. 인생 직진 음료. 핫식.
Round of 16. Trap. Special. Party. Solar. 2021 GSL Season 2. Code S. Africa TV. Freak Up Studio Live. 2021 GSL Season 2.
It's time to close out the round of 16. Trap vs. Solar is our final match. We have just witnessed Special get eliminated. I do wish him best of luck in the next season of GSL. But now it's going to be down to one player moving on and the other player's story ending. I think it's safe to say Trap should be the player to take this, but let's see what Solar's got.
Yeah, like I definitely think that Trap is a class above Solar, honestly. Like Trap is someone that you're looking at to possibly win every tournament he's in, whereas Solar is around a 16, maybe around an 8 guy. But don't underestimate Solar. He's a smart player.
Yeah, no, he definitely can pull through with a win here. I think especially in a best of 3, with that small number of games, maybe he could pull something off. But Trap is basically at the forefront of Protoss thought here. He is the guy that is basically sculpting the way that the Protoss meta goes and what everybody's copying and what everybody's doing. And certainly this should be doable for him, but let's see if we have any surprises, any upsets. And our game's ready. Let's go.
Africa Freaks. Trap. KaiZ Gaming. Solar.
A little bit of a hatch block going on. Solar's just going to take his third, pretty standard.
Now, I think if Solar wins this, it's going to have to be one where, actually, no, you know, I'm going to change what I was thinking about saying there. I was thinking that it would have to be one where he has to try to shut Trap down, but it does seem like in this matchup, unless Protoss go for like some kind of air, really conservative play, Protoss should have a harder time against Zerg in the long, long run.
Yeah. Well, what style do you think Trap is going to play? Because I think with Solar, it's pretty straightforward. Like, he'll probably play Roach Ravager. He really likes that comp. Maybe get into Lurkers if everything goes fine. But what style do you think Trap will actually bring? Because he has a huge range in the matchup.
Well, that's, I think, that's why that's a hard question to answer, right? He is kind of able to play all the types of Protoss styles. If I had to guess, I would imagine like a Stargate play and then just squeeze out a third and tack
like
up.
Void Ray third or Oracle third?
I think Void Ray.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
I would like to see that from him. I think that's my favorite in this matchup right now.
We've seen Adept play get less and less effective with every passing season, but maybe he brings that out. I don't think he will.
I don't think so either.
I feel like we're really at the point in time where unless we see some major innovations with the Adept play, this is basically a riddle the Zerg solved a long time ago.
And yeah, no major innovation. Tasteless. Just he's a Commodore, according to the outfit they had him in this season.
Yes, I believe this will be the first and the last time we dress up the pro gamers as airline pilots / sailors of cruise ships.
Twilight on the way, as well as the Robo. So it could be Glaives, but I'm thinking maybe DT drop into Archon, like Dark.
I would say
right?
probably DT drop into Archon. We're going to find out in a second. It doesn't look like Glaives has started.
Yeah,
but I think Archon drops are fine. They've always been good.
Yeah, like honestly, I think that was one of the healthiest time periods for this metagame. Oh, no, it's Glaives. Okay. All right, never mind. But I was going to say, we don't really see the Archon drops at all anymore, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I always liked the Archon drops because you're basically guaranteed to get some damage, and it allows you to transition. But, you know, honestly, a lot of times we'd have the Archon drops into, like, Glaive Adepts and stuff like that.
We did have that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, but a Glaives build, Tasis. Yeah. These have not been working very well. It's Trap doing it. And remember, you open against special as well with the Glaives build.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Different matchup, different
same
build order.
unit, same upgrade.
Same upgrade.
I think I'm on to something.
Both something from the past that he's decided is good enough to use in GSL.
We do have these builds that are kind of old, occasionally reemerge. We've even had it happen a couple times at StarCraft where somebody pulls something out and says, actually, this was still pretty good.
He just scouted that as quickly as he possibly could.
Yeah,
he saw the warping into depths as well as the prism, so he knows exactly what's going on. Now, the backup plan to this, it doesn't look to be super duper adept heavy. Like, what's he got? 3 gates? Oh, that's such a good surround.
Oh, God, I thought he was going to lose both of those adepts for a second.
Me too.
Nice pick up here.
But it looks like he's going to go into Disruptor drop afterwards, which is pretty nice, honestly. Everyone counters this with things like Roaches, Ravagers, Queens, and
yeah,
obviously Disruptor drops can be awesome against that.
It's a style where you're setting them up to defend something, and you're going to counter that next unit set that's going to be coming out here. And so, yeah, if you force Roaches, suddenly Disruptors look pretty damn appealing.
I gotta say, Solar's counterplay here has been awesome.
Yeah.
Like, he's picked off Adepts. He just forced in a warping round of Adepts at home to deal with those Zerglings that took out the Stalker. I love it. I think he's playing beautifully here. All right, Prism speed as well as the Disruptor on the way. Third base being taken. So this is not that big of a commitment to these Adepts.
Yeah, nice sniping here on these drones. This is actually looking pretty good.
Yeah, this seems totally fine.
Oh, the Adepts are not wedged in the pylon, so they can't get to safety.
Oh, that's a big pickoff right there as well.
Yeah, and even getting this one over here would be pretty big. He's going to try to bait out the Disruptor shot.
Yeah. No sense sitting there, though, with the shield battery. It's never going to happen. So at least he knows Disruptors are on the way. The layer is about to finish. We'll see what he wants to do to kind of counter this. I wonder if it's going to be a Spire.
Yeah, I think, well, a Spire would probably be the actual best counter to this.
Thing is, Solar doesn't go Muta very often, but yeah,
no,
there it is.
He doesn't.
There it is.
Yeah, so I think that, and we don't know because we're not quite there yet, but this is looking pretty damn good here for Solar. Even catching the battery, which will then allow him to get some probes.
Yeah. Solar's actually playing a very nice game.
Well, he's keeping Trap on his back foot this entire time.
Yeah. He's getting every single thing done that he possibly can. Okay, I heard a Disruptor and two drones died. Okay. Speed Prism getting in and getting out. He did scout that Spire. It's right there in the natural behind the minerals, so he immediately threw down a Stargate. Probably just start pumping Phoenixes. Look at this. This is a fair amount of Adepts. This could be a bit scary for Solar. He's got 7 Roaches, 24 Lings. If he gets a good hit with this Disruptor on those Roaches, that is going to be, it's going to be pain for him.
Oh!
Very nice.
Huge connects on those drones. 8 picked off here. The Adepts over here to the side. Ling's going to come in here, but there are batteries to heal those sentries. They're going to try to maybe shade into the natural. There's not that much over here. He actually lets a few come through. This way he can easily target down drones before these Lings and Roaches can clean up the rest of the Adepts. Nicely done.
13 drone kills overall, not so bad. Solar only on 57. Should have some mutas being made now, so that is going to really slow down Trap. But then it's kind of up to Solar here how he wants to play this. A lot of the time when you get mutas in this type of scenario, it does turn into a base trade situation. Yeah, second Stargate coming up for Trap. So if you go to Stargate, that means that you don't really want to base trade, right? If you make like, if you go like Archon, Blink Stalker with like the other stuff that you have, that's going to be a base trade basically every time. But if you go to Stargate Phoenix, you can actually just battle them in a long macro game. Yeah, he actually saw that there is a second Stargate on the way. So this is where we get to see, does Solar double down? And If you double down, that means you're going to be adding Corruptors into this as well. And then, yeah.
I think that might be the way to go.
It might be. He's adding more and more mutas.
You know, the Protoss, opened up with an unusual setup of unit combinations here. So, yeah, this isn't exactly safe against air, and we're about to see that illustrated right now. The mutas can come in here freely, and this is a lot of mutas. And again, the Phoenix is going to chase him away. He's going to try to fake him out and then try to dive bomb into them. We don't have any Corruptors yet, though, Artosis. Like you were mentioning, we have 3 more Mutalisks hatching, and air weapons is about halfway done. Meanwhile, these Adepts trying to chase down some of these drones. They will eventually be cleaned up.
Yeah, I like that he's still trying to get something done there and taking some of the attention of Solar.
Here we go. The Corruptors are coming.
Now, he didn't go Fleet Beacon, so we don't have Phoenix range. He's just trying to match them muscle for muscle.
I think one of the ideas we're going to see a play is if he can just start to take a fight on the third, even if the Phoenixes can run away and dance, the ground and pound is going to be too much.
Yeah, that would make sense, but I think, especially because the Phoenixes don't have range, now that he's adding the Corruptors, if he just counterattacks, I feel like it's slightly Solar favored here.
You mean if Solar counterattacks?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that Protoss basically can't leave, and we're going to have a real Zerg threat on the map with 5 bases. Here's that counterattack you were mentioning, Artosis.
Yeah, if he comes out, you've got to be over there. Now the Phoenixes come in. Going to get a few lifts here, but Muta's coming in, force them to drop. Notice that there's a Dark Shrine on the way.
Right.
Dark Shrine is like, if you know a base trade is coming, it's the most valuable building you can get as Protoss.
So these went the wrong way here. A lot of free kills.
Yeah.
Protoss has actually done a pretty good job basically blocking counterattacks so far, and he's now going to be here in the bottom. But with this many Corruptors, there's no way the Phoenixes can actually take on the Muta Corruptor head-on without the Stalkers underneath.
A lot of Lings being made right now. The Baneling Nest is done. Getting Baneling speed as well, which is already pretty darn good against this composition. If they don't hit you with a Disruptor shot, your Banelings are going to do massive damage to that Colossus ball.
Okay, so again, the Zerg is a real threat air-wise, but you've got to be very careful to not get a bad engagement where you're underneath these Stalkers. Protoss is taking a 4th base, but again, Protoss is a bit paralyzed here in their position. There's not a whole lot they can do. They can't really move out or do anything that's going to actually threaten the Zerg without the Zerg either counterattacking, or in some cases, Zerg could even try to come in here and smash the army itself.
Yeah.
Especially with Banelings coming here now.
Some Archons being added in, and honestly, mass Archon would be the greatest thing that he could do right now. Archons actually beat like every single thing that Solar is making.
Yeah.
So I would love to see him just add, like, if he spends everything he has on Archons right now, I think that's the right play. Look at that, a couple more coming in. Adding a few Stalkers in here as well. That Speed Prism gonna go elsewhere, see if he can get some harassment later on. 17 Mutas, 11 Corruptors. We don't know if he's going to add many more. Some Lings and Banes still coming in. Saw the Infestation Pit as well, so we should be going up to Hive. Which, of course, that could be one way to counter incoming Archons, is if you get into Broods. Because if you get into enough Broods, like, the Phoenixes don't kill Broods all that quickly.
Yeah. He's going to come in here now. This is where it's going to get to the boiling point. The Banelings come in and connect. The Zerg army is just continuing to close in here on what Protoss has. One Colossus goes down, but there's enough Stalkers, enough Archons that the pushback from the Corruptors is real. And now we need to see, can Zerg assemble enough? 80 Lings are hatching as this fight ensues.
Yeah, but if Trap pulls back, continues to build out this army, like, he's saved a lot. He has a lot of good Ling-killing stuff here. A Colossus and 3 Archons, not bad at all with +2 attack.
More Banes are being made, Ravagers as well.
I like that.
Oh, this is pretty good to clean up these Phoenixes actually here by Solar.
Second Robo being added in.
I like it.
This is really cool. Watching the back and forth as far as tech and unit compositions go, this is like a very interesting game.
So, Banes are going to try to roll in here and hit an area where the army's not. It is going to be shut down with ease. Archon shots, Colossi shots, everything. Making that not a real threat. But these Zealots that are chased away actually spot that a new base is going to be taken in the lower right quadrant of the map. Protoss, though, still not really able to push out and make a threat. Zerg basically grows freely. The counterattack ability for Zerg to hit 12 o'clock as well as the third base that's adjacent to the main is a problem for Trap. I think plays like this where the DTs are a great idea, but ultimately he's going to have to push. Let's see how this one does.
The way the Greater Spire is on the way here, so we could have Broodlords incoming. Okay, does a recall. Very worthwhile.
So the hatchery is going to be delayed there in the bottom right.
If he can actually get a big mass of Broodlords here,
I think that would be pretty good.
Yeah.
How many Corruptors are in this game right now?
It's not that many.
Is it like 8 or something like that?
Yeah, it's like 8. It's like 8. But look at his army. If you try to blink under that, between Corrosive Bile and then the Banelings, you are not going to have a good time.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, Artosis, and really, Zerg probably only needs to punch out one of these bases. There is a fresh one being taken at the bottom, so maybe a Broodlord with everything else attack over at the bottom and pushing up. That might be the way to go. Protoss won't have an easy time counterattacking, especially as the damage begins to spike exponentially from a push like that.
Yeah. Love to see a fleet beacon from Trap, but I think he doesn't really realize what's coming for him. Still more DTs being warped in here for some Archons. Huge amount of Archons in there.
Yeah.
The Broodlings will just kind of lock those. But that's not that many. Like 6 Broodlords?
That's
don't
true.
think that's enough.
This is the supply goal here for Protoss. They're going to actually finally commit to a push.
Okay, yeah, he's giving up that base. He is doing a little bit of a counter at a new warping in base. Solar gives this one up.
And this is going to be an attack that's likely engineered to keep going. Not one where he wants to poke a base out and then turn around.
Yeah, he's got to turn around from this right now. Solar does. He needs these Broodlords in here dealing their damage. Okay, starting to put some damage down onto these Archons. Ooh, nice Disruptor hit comes in.
Oh, but the Stalkers immediately blink under, and there's not really anything to actually defend these Broodlords. All the Lings and everything else is wiped out. Trap, I think, has just won this game. There's just too much damage. There's nothing that can be done. The balance was thrown off, and Trap takes game 1 in an extremely impressive fashion.
That was an excellent game from both sides, and that was actually a razor-thin timing from Trap. Solar bled off a lot of Ling Bane Ravager right before the Broodlords got there. Like in the 30 seconds leading up, if that 30 seconds hadn't occurred, the blinking of Stalkers would have been suicidal. He would have lost all of them to Solar's army like instantly, and then his army gets cleaned, right? So just nailing Solar there. That was awesome though from both sides. I think Solar played it very nicely.
Solar just kind of slipped up in the end. Didn't quite have the army with the Broodlords. That was the bottom army was wiped out. The Broodlords finished, nothing to protect them. Fatality there from Trap. Yep. We're going to go to Oxide now for game 2. Trap with this 1-0 lead is looking ready to launch himself into that last spot in the round of 8. But Solar is clearly holding his own, is clearly a threat in a very standard PvZ, which is a good sign to see as Trap is really on top of the meta. Our game has now loaded up. Let's continue the final best of 3 in the round of 16.
Africa Freaks, Trap. KaiZ Gaming, Solar.
What a nice game that was.
All the games tonight have been pretty good, honestly. It's been a great group.
Here, slightly different build order. The last game, Trap denied the hatchery there from Solar, so he kind of primed him for that. You notice Solar sent a drone out early to check for the probe. It wasn't coming, it went back. Sometimes Zergs will do things like skip an extra drone to get the hatchery down a bit quicker, but this game, Trap goes gas gate, which is economically better, but you don't scout with this opener. so you insta-die to things like 12 pool, but like the fact that Solar's just trying to get that hatchery up a little bit quicker, I just want to throw that out there because it's almost like he primed Solar in game 1 for him to be able to do just a slightly greedier build this game.
It's smart.
Yeah, it's very nice.
The art of playing a best of 3 or a best of 5 in RTS is so cool.
It really is. It's so different from like a best of 1. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you can truly appreciate RTS unless you have best of 3 or best of 5. Like, you can enjoy one game and be like, oh, that's cool, but if you're going to show somebody an RTS, you almost need to show them like a best of 3 or a best of 5 that is back and forth so they get it and see how different the games can look. So, story time. We'll wait for this game to develop. I tried to do my bicycle stream on my way to GSL. Turned on my stream. I hooked my phone to my chest with this little strap I have. Continued to talk to my stream and point out cool things in the city.
Yep.
After my hour bike ride, I got home and discovered the stream went down 5 minutes into it.
I love that.
Oh, it's the worst feeling in the world. There's nothing more cringe.
I love that you didn't check it at all.
Well, every other time I did it, I had checked it, and it went off without a hitch, and I thought, all right, well, let's just, why would it go down this time? And so there's nothing more cringe than thinking you're being recorded and talking to an audience and then discovering that you're alone. And you're muttering to yourself like an insane person.
It is painful. It is painful. So did you go back to the studio, turn the stream on, and then do the bike ride again?
I did not. Well, I have the bike here now. I have the bike here now, so I'm going to try after the show if you guys want to join me. We're going to try again. We'll see if it works. I feel like I might jinx it, though.
Yeah.
But we're going to try.
I feel like this is the beginning of like an awesome like crime drama where
Yeah.
we try to figure out what happened to Tasus. All we have is this live footage and like.
That's right. After I disappear and the
Yeah.
aliens abduct me, it's
Something like
well, he
that,
said
yeah.
he was going to stream his bike ride, but it went down somewhere when he was going through the park.
His phone lost connection when it was in outer space.
Yeah. Like, suspicious considering he has the highest data plan, but okay. Nice spot on that Oracle.
Spores start to go up immediately.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get that much more damage with this Oracle. It's always like 2 or 3 drones every time.
Everything looks pretty darn well defended.
Yeah.
Second Oracle is coming. He's trying to like randomize where he's going, so he goes to the third, but yeah. Just has to back up. A couple of depths being made. This is kind of, oh, okay. Okay, never mind. Oh, he is moving out.
No,
with
he's,
him. Okay,
he's
I was
moving
going to
out.
say,
He's
yeah.
coming. Yep.
Like, this just, it's like kind of an older
there's-
way to play.
There's nothing to defend this base over here. If he wants to, he can kill the pylon before anything can warp in too. So both sides are going to be taking some pretty heavy blows here. The drones have actually been microed pretty nicely away. These queens are basically chasing down these adepts. They're going to shade again. I don't know what's over at the natural to defend, but it's going to be 3 adepts over there. Oh, all right. Beautiful catch here. He's going to get, what, 1 adept.
Yeah, another one's
But
heavily damaged.
Kind of a back and forth, blow for blow game.
Yeah.
The Lings are going to come back up here. I don't know what the energy is like on the Oracles, but I wonder if there's a chance he can actually shut down this Nexus again.
I think he has enough. Yeah, and he doesn't even turn both of them on here.
Gonna try to catch this Stalker.
I like it though. Like I have to say I appreciate how Solar's playing these early games. Like he's being super active with his Lings. He's finding damage everywhere he can. He's preventing damage to himself as well.
We've got a Roach Warren about to finish. Although I think the Adept threat is basically over. He might try to do some Roach Ravager stuff.
Yeah, Solar does tend to like that in this matchup. He likes to field a reasonably large Roach Ravager army. See how high he wants to go on drones and how much he wants to commit into that unit set.
So, with 3 Oracles, Zerg's got to be very careful here. I see that drone pull away. He wanted to take a 4th. It looks like it's probably going to get shot down.
Yeah. Ooh, a Drop Lord. He's going to drop some Lings into the main base. Nice. There's like nothing up there.
Yeah, this is a smart play. Especially with these Oracles roaming here.
Yeah.
Being a bit of a nuisance.
Really, they're so busy over here that he's not going to be able to block this as easily. Lings are loading up now, so he's going to go ahead and drop those off in a second. Still 6 drones killed with this harassment. Not too bad. Let's see what the Ling drop does, though. Okay, a few Lings. This is a really smart move. If he can hit anywhere else to draw attention. Oh, what are we?
This is probably not the best way to do it. I think he should have dropped it into the blind spot here. This gives you know, when Zerg's drop, the drop is painfully slow when you're watching Lings come out.
Seems like a misclick, maybe. It looks like he wants to make an overseer to get out of there, but this ends up not really doing damage when I think the potential was reasonable to do some. Good catch there by Trap. Okay, Solar does have his 4th base almost done now. Starting to add quite a few roaches in. Is a nice worker count. 2 Robos coming up here for Trap, which is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to barely end up killing off this Stalker. Kind of a headache back at home. We're going to see these Oracles sweep through the bottom right 3rd base. Or are we? Okay, yeah, they are going to move through here. So Roach Ravager continuing to build up. I don't know that Zerg's going to have an opportunity just yet to attack, but we'll see. He could try to hammer that 3rd.
These Oracles have really, they've done a great job. Like constant harassment, getting tons of scouting intel done, just kind of annoying him. Nothing game breaking, but.
All right, he's sending the Queens.
Oh yeah,
which means he wants to try to snowball the damage here. Whenever you see a bunch of Queens on the move like this, it's a very specific timing attack. Lots of Ravagers coming up here.
Yeah, Solar loves attacks like this, but we are going to have some disruptors on the way. Yeah. Oh my God, those force fields, like.
Great catch there.
Bit of a misplay there by Solar, I would say.
Right before things really got started here, it looks like one Oracle's going to go down. But what Artosis said could not be more important. The disruptors are coming, and the chunkiness of this army is what makes it possibly so weak. Oh, it's an Immortal that comes out.
Yeah, no, I thought for sure maybe he had those started already, but he should be making some disruptors now. That's going to be the best way to chunk this down. Okay, he has that overcharged battery. He has a couple cannons in here as well, so he is buying a lot of time, but this army can cut through everything at the 3rd right now.
Yeah, this is a lot of damage. He's cut the Protoss in half. The cannons are going to fall almost immediately as there's just one Archon extremely low on shields. It goes down. Here comes that Disruptor. Takes out one Queen, weakens another.
Pretty darn good disruptor hits so far.
We need 1 or 2 more good disruptor hits, and I think this attack could be held, but more reinforcements are coming. Guardian Shield here on the 1 Immortal.
Yeah, Solar not done here yet with this attack. Oh my God, I think he is going to end up getting this 3rd base.
Yeah.
And if he gets the 3rd base,
that's all he needed to do.
Yeah, I think so. Look at this. The Sim City not working out here for Trap.
Yeah,
he's having to actually kill a gateway to get his units out of here.
Nice dodge there with the Ravager. And suddenly, this is probably enough to take out the 3rd base and maybe even the natural as well. There's just not a lot of room to move. GG, Solar.
All right.
Okay. That was a great game.
No, totally.
And what's funny is Trap even had a pretty good start to the engagement. He got those 2 force fields down and broke off a good piece of that army with the Ravagers.
Yeah. That's so true, because it would have been much harder without that damage as well. And the thing is, he stalled it out for a really long time as well. He came down the ramp with those couple of Immortals, but like the disruptors were really super key to helping hold this on.
Tell you something, man. Trap was supposed to be the guy to get out of this group first, and Parting has really hurled this whole Group D into chaos right now. It's Trap and Solar duking it out here to survive and go on to the round of 8. Only one player is going to move on, and then we go to the next phase of the GSL. Could go either way, man. It's a tough one to call. Solar is looking very, very strong. Trap, basically the leader of the Protoss race, right now could be going out in the round of 16. If he doesn't pull it together and come in here and shut down a very worthy opponent in Solar. Let's go to the last game of the round of 16, guys.
Africa Freaks, Trap. Kai-Z Gaming. Solar.
I gotta say, Solar is playing really well tonight.
Yeah, Solar is...
This is the best Protoss out there that he's up against. Both games, he is staying toe-to-toe with him. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, he really, especially in game 1, I think toe-to-toe is the best way to say it, kept up in every sense.
Yeah.
And I think had the correct idea. Trap got in there and basically interrupted the formation of the final endgame army that Zerg was trying to get by killing the ground up and then killing the Broodlords as they hatched. Broodlords are only as good as what is beneath them, is one way to think about them.
And he just shaved down enough there. That could have been a Solar victory.
Yeah, and you know, Trap, on the other hand, obviously, if you watch GSL, you're used to hearing us praise Trap. You know, he's such a phenomenal player, and really, when you just look at the decisions he's making, whether it's when he attacks or what the tech is going to be or how he handles a best of 3, best of 5, you know, there's a lot of praise to sing. But right now, Trap is having to work and really give his all if he's going to be worthy of the round of 8 in Season 2.
I don't know exactly what we're going to end up seeing here. I'm really interested in the tech route that Trap wants to take.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I don't even think the 3 Oracle opener was bad at all. His Solar did kind of his standard attack. Like, he does that row Ravager Queen push pretty often.
I do wonder if we had a Disruptor come out when that Immortal came out in that final fight.
I think probably what happened there was the support bait was maybe like halfway done and he started Immortals because it's like, well, I need as many units
let's
as
make
possible.
something out of this building. We might just win this with 1 extra unit. In that case, it's the Immortal, but the Disruptor...
They're so key against pushes like that when you're this low in supply.
Yeah.
They're the only thing that's... like, supply efficiency is like a really important thing to think about in StarCraft 2 and doesn't really get mentioned that much, but like, for instance, Banelings are the most obviously supply efficient unit that there is. For like, they're a half supply, right? And they're like, they can kill so much. The Disruptor is on that type of level where it's like, okay, I mean, it can just do massive amounts of damage. So it is a Stargate coming up.
I want to point out, it's going to be really weird if Trap's not in the round of 8.
I know, yeah. It's weird if he's not in the round of 4, generally.
Yeah.
He is...
I'm so used to him always pulling that off, too.
He's probably the most consistent player in the last 3 years.
I think you might be right about that.
Him, T.Y. Maru are probably the 3 guys that are like, okay, you guys like always do well.
Because Rogue's been much more hot and cold.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If Rogue had any consistency...
No, like, we would have to end StarCraft 2.
Yeah, we'd have to turn it
like, all right,
off.
well, he figured it out. Yeah. We're going to shut down all tournaments. It's over. This great experiment of StarCraft 2 is done now, guys. Rogue did it.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be the build I was talking about we might see in Game 1. He's going to go for Void Rays here in Game 3. And this is a pretty safe catch-all that allows you to get a 3rd pretty comfortably. And then I want to see if he's going to lean into Stargate tech, or if he's going to go into a grounded pound gateway man style.
Yeah. And it's kind of impossible to say. There's just so many different ways that this can play out. Now, he's shown a single Void Ray. You can literally stop on 1 Void. You can just kill the Overlords with it and pretend you're going to have more Voids. You can go 2 Stargate Void Ray as well. Okay, Forge comes up immediately, so we are not going to see many more Voids. Like, he might possibly start another one. But I could see him just sitting on 1 as well and just optimizing towards his gateway army.
Oh, good decision-making here by Solar to just immediately turn back into this. Make sure those Adepts don't get in there, don't get any drone kills. Protoss taking 6 o'clock here. It's not easy for Zerg to get over there to punish that. What?
Okay. I was going to say that. Yeah. Like, if he gets up and sees that there's just not more Void Rays, that is the highest quality scout.
It's one of the things that makes this build from Protoss strong is that it's not clear what's happening inside the Protoss's home base. Is it, is it 1 Void Ray? Is it a lot of Void Rays? Is he switching into carriers? Are there a bunch of gates coming down here? You just don't know. Because even if it's a lot of Void Rays, they don't have to show that.
Yeah.
And the Zerg is trying to dig for answers so that they have the right composition so that they're in a healthy spot later on.
Love this shading. Great usage of these Adepts right now.
Look at that.
5 drones. So nice. 5 drones and a Ling, I think, on that shaded. Really, really worthwhile. At this point in the game, yeah. Okay, so 3 bases are up on both sides. The layer done. Roach speed coming. Oh my god. What is this?
Yeah, nice little Oracle moving in there, getting a little bit of damage. Here's that. Oh, this is awkward. All right, so for a second I was like, can that actually see that? Yeah, it can. So there's no element of surprise in regards to that.
Yeah, that's kind of a funny one, isn't it?
Sir continuing to tech up here, catching these Lings, trying to come around.
Oh, okay, that's what happened. He wanted a scout. That's funny. Because it really looked like he was trying to do the drop.
Yeah,
again.
That's what I thought it was. By the way, we have roaches coming out.
Infestation pit this time. So definitely a very different strategy coming out here for Solar.
Yeah,
he's taking that 4th base.
We're not going to have that same Roach, Ravager, Queen timing attack that snowballed the game. Also, I don't know if since even the expanding pattern here for the Protoss is not going to make that really doable either. The 3rd base is kind of far away and hard to hit. Same with the natural and everywhere else. But Protoss may have ambitions to push into the Zerg's 4th. I mean, Zerg's actually bold enough to right now expand towards the Protoss instead of taking 12 o'clock.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of games that look like this on Nautilus. And this is like, I'm kind of surprised. He got the Infestation Pit. I was going to say, I need to see that Hive, because I think you have to get into Vipers if you want to win this game. Throws down a tag there. So they're going to hold this for now, but as Disruptors start coming out, which is going to be very, very soon, it's going to become increasingly hard to hold on to that 4th base. Oh, Fleet Beacon coming in.
Oh, interesting.
That is.
You could even get Tempest and shell that from there, too.
I wonder if that's... Do you think he's going to go Tempest, or you think he's going to go Carrier?
I mean, I think both would be interesting to see. I don't know which one he's going to go for, but you know, usually the default is to go for Carrier first. I just wonder because of this this cavity in between the Protoss's main and the Zerg's 4th base, and maybe that's something that can be exploited.
I gotcha, yeah. I think it'll probably be Carrier. Like, Carrier, Disruptor definitely can work well together. We don't have a Spire, right? So,
yeah,
there's no great counter there. That's for sure. What are you going to make, Hydras? Disruptor has something to say to you about that. I guess it should come down to, like, the Viper play.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Some Zealot drops coming through here.
Sees the Lurker tech. Carrier's coming. Hasn't started air attack yet. Love to see that. One more Vipers being added in. This is going to be fireworks pretty soon.
Well, I mean, yeah, we're ramping up to a pretty huge battle here. Zerg is almost maxed out. That always happens, especially when you have Roach, Ravager, heavy stuff. And this is another important, subtle but important moment here at 12 o'clock. He stopped the 5th base, and there really isn't an easy 5th base for Zerg on this map. I think at a quick glance, it can look like there's plenty of other expansions there, but you know,
very quadrant.
The symmetry, yeah, it's very quadrant-y. Yes.
This is my new game. I say words tasteless can't say.
Like, oh no, did he say quadrant-y? You really put me on the spot back there. The 12 o'clock spot is hard to actually get stuff over to for the Zerg. Yeah. It's not easy for Protoss to get either, but
much easier to harass it with a Prism than to properly defend it against
to get creep all the way over there and then have, you know, adequate defense. And so Trap may be much more interested in running the clock and just poking out the 5th base as much as possible. Protoss also has the same dilemma, but of course Zergs are always trying to expand before the Protosses do. So it's going to be the Zerg's problem first.
All right, so Charge Lot's going to come in over here. There's actually plenty of units at the moment. Lurker's starting to siege everything, but the Carrier's going to come forward.
Okay, nice job shooting down the Warp Prism. The Carriers push this away, and I'm worried that Solar is just going to get squished in every sense here. Oh my God, the Disruptor shots are insane.
So good.
Zerg can't get a 5th base still, and now Protoss is in a pretty comfortable position up here on the high ground. We see a lot of carriers here. We're still waiting for these Vipers to harpoon, but then again, even if they were to pull a carrier in, there's not that many Hydras underneath.
No, there's really not enough anti-air here to deal with this. There are more Hydras coming up, but don't forget, he can bring forward the rest of his army to help fight that anti-air. Harpoons one in, trying to target it down, and looks like he should get it, but just barely so. Yeah, Harpoons too, that's... See, he can't even get another one.
Yeah, I mean, damaging the carriers is not going to cut it. All those interceptors are still out killing stuff. He pulls in 2 more. This should be the first carrier to get picked off. But I don't know, man. This looks extremely demanding on the Zerg here.
It's a little bit tough, but you know what? He's picked off 3 carriers now, so that's something at least. He's stemming the flow of blood. I don't know. He's stemming the damage.
You nailed it. That was literally the absolute only way to say that.
Yeah.
So he's stemming the blood.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not going to take more damage there for a moment. Look at this now. He's starting to get a reasonable amount of Hydras, yanking some of these in. Great overcharge there, though. Carriers can do quite well against Hydras in some of these situations.
Yeah, but the Hydra count is enough that all those interceptors are being shot down. But again, it's more than just the threat of the carriers here. And with not that many lurkers left, and these disruptor shots would be insane.
Oh, very good disruptor shot there on top of those Hydras.
Okay, Trap fighting back now. I don't know that this base at 3 o'clock can be salvaged. It just seems like there's more of every Protoss than there are Hydras right now. And that includes carriers.
Solar.
That's going to be a GG. Trap takes it, winning the final spot in the round of 8. But damn, did he ever have to work for it.
Yeah, he
Solar,
really did.
by the way, I think a lot of that did come down to that map. That is one of the more clunky maps that we have in GSL. It's just kind of hard for Zerg to grow into the spaces in any normal map that you need to get to.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, Trap knew how to take advantage of it. He played a very patient game, kind of kept his boot on the Zerg's neck for long enough that Zerg was not going to be able to recover. We're going to go to an interview now. Let's see how Trap's feeling. He's got that final spot in the GSL round of 8 as we wrap things up here in the GSL round of 16.
네, 이번 시즌
Trap locked in the last spot of the round of 8.
조성우 선수 만나보겠습니다.
Congratulations, Trap.
축하드립니다.
Thank you.
네, 먼저 축하드립니다.
First of all, congratulations.
1부터 무려 8연속.
This is your 8th consecutive round of 8, Trap. How do you feel?
1대1 되고 나서 게임도 잘 안 되고
You know, when it was 1-1 score, you know, I was kind of worried, but I'm really happy to have won.
노틸러스 굉장히 안정적이었어요.
The GSL Nautilus game looked really stable for you, Trap.
속이는 심리전에서
And it was a severe, fierce battle of wits in that game.
없었던 것 같은데요?
It felt like you had no moments of danger in the game. Is that right?
네. 약간 뇌줄 타는 느낌이어가지고.
No, I definitely had some moments of danger in the game.
민수를 속이려고 최대한 이제.
You know, I try my best to trick Solar and bait him as much as possible.
네, 최대한 제가 좀 뚫으려는 그런 것처럼 연기를.
Yes, I did try to act like I wanted to infiltrate his base.
굉장히 여유가 느껴지는 경기력이었던 것 같아요.
Well, the final match was very nicely done from you, Trap.
선수에게 화가 많이
But in the winners match, you did lose to Parting, and it felt like you were very angry at him.
굉장히 똑똑해야 할 수 있는
And
거다.
Parting before mentioned that the cannon rush can only be achieved by smart people.
어떻게 생각하세요?
So what do you think about his statement? Then am I a stupid guy?
저는 원래 브루드 할 때부터 스타일이
You know, ever since Brood War,
위주로 하는
my playstyle was focused on macro.
또 이제 저는 스타트 초창기부터 한 게 아니라 좀 브루더를
And as for me, I wasn't the original member of StarCraft 2. I transitioned from StarCraft 1 to StarCraft 2.
좀안 해가지고 손이 안 가더라고요.
So you know, I'm the kind of like rush builds for Protoss. I'm not really accustomed to it.
전진공업 빌드에 좀 일격을 맞았거든요. 그 빌드 아예 예상을 못했어요.
So
예상을 했는데
talk us through about the Void Race.
했는데 져서 더 화났고.
네.
1세트 때 제가 이겨야 되는 게임이라고 생각했는데.
In the first game, that was a game I should have won.
긍정적으로 하려다가 시간을 줘가지고.
And then I delayed the game for too long, and then Parting ended up winning that game.
다시 한번 막을 수 있을 것 같고.
And for the second game, I think I can defend it if I play now.
판단 실수가 좀 아쉬웠어요.
For first game, I made some terrible decisions.
진출이긴 하지만 그래도 현존
Unfortunately, you do advance as a second place.
가장 강력한 우승 후보이면
However, you are the strongest favorite out of the pro players.
지금 슈퍼 토너먼트 하면서 우승을 하시고 이번 시즌 2를 시작하게
You have won the
되셨잖아요.
GSL Super Tournament 3 times consecutively,
없이
and now you are getting closer to the GSL trophy.
어떤 마음으로 임하고
So what kind of mindset do you have right now?
뭐 제가 요즘 성적이 좋다고 해서
You know, right now my results are good, but I'm not too confident right now.
GSL 16강 정도 올라오면은 다 잘하는 선수.
You know, if I get to the GSL round of 16, all the players are really good.
선수들이기 때문에
They're exceptional players.
항상 느끼는 건데 좀 도착점이 보이지 않는 터널을.
You know, it always feels like the same thing. I feel like I'm just walking through a tunnel that has no end.
준비하게 되는 것 같아요.
That's the kind of mindset I have.
8강 상대는 2위 박한솔 선수가 아닌 C조의 1위 김유진.
And your round of 8 opponent will be SOS, the first place of Group C. If you were playing against Down, this would be a revenge match of the previous Super Tournament finals. So are you happy with playing against SOS or Down?
대진표 전체적으로 보면은
Well, looking generally at the brackets,
들어간 라인이 좀 더 괜찮은 것 같더라고요.
I feel like the side of the bracket I have entered now is better than the other side. But at the end of the day, I'm just really lucky to have advanced.
올라올 줄 알았는데.
And I actually anticipated Maru to advance, but he didn't.
제가 1등을 하든 2등을 하든 프로토스라서.
So you know, even if I come first place or second place, I'll be playing against the Protoss anyway.
누가 더 쉽다거나 이런 생각.
So you know, I feel pretty indifferent. I think they are both very skilled players.
이번 시즌 또 어떤 모습을 보여줄지.
And this season, what kind of performance will Trap put on? Will he be able to lift the trophy?
마지막 한마디 들어볼게요.
Anything you want to say?
오늘 경기력이 좀 아쉬웠지만.
Well, my performance today has been disappointing for me.
올라만 가면 된다고 생각해요.
You know, I always think as long as I move on, it's all good.
어쨌든 올라갔으니까.
You know, I moved on today, so I'm gonna focus on my next match
좀더 완벽에 가까운.
and try to put on a more perfect kind of performance.
다시 한번 8강 진출 축하드립니다.
Once again, congratulations, Trap. Thank you.
Moving through a tunnel that has no end.
만나봤는데요. 오늘 경기 최종 정리
Yes, I like that metaphor. Guys, what a hell of a round of 16 this was. Thank you for joining us. You can see the results on your screen now. Sad to see Solar and Special go. They're great players, but this only means we're going to have an insane round of 8. We only have one Terran in the round of 8, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Bunny only.
How funny is that? Of all the Terrans, too.
Yeah. Well, he is looking better and better. It's really a new world out there. Look at this round of 8. It's a new world and an old world.
Oh my God, SOS versus Trap.
Look at the mirrors. We have TVZ up top, then PvP, ZVZ, PvP. This is going to be wild, man.
And fortunately, we're going to have the Protosses and Zergs eliminating each other on some level. So I think unless DRG dumpsters Bunny, we're going to have a pretty balanced lineup here for the Final Four.
Yeah, I really wonder about this. Like, if DRG takes down Bunny, like I would favor him to.
I think DRG could beat Bunny, but I'm trying. Me right now, Tasteless is trying to reevaluate a Bunny cast because I'm so used to putting him in a certain kind of pigeonholing his skill, and I think I need to kind of evolve on that. Where he is the last Terran. He looks really damn good. He still has that play style we've seen. We make jokes about in the past, putting 2 tanks and medevacs and dropping that in the push, but. He looks to be in his best form yet. The best iteration of himself. Maybe DRG beats him, but I got my fingers crossed. And look, this happens in round of 8s occasionally where there is one race really lacking.
That certainly is the case here.
You know what happens when that one race is lacking? Usually that one player that's in that race goes on to the Final Four.
Actually, it is strangely common how that type of thing occurs. It's like, yeah, there's only one guy there because he's so good right now.
Yeah.
And no one can even prep for that almost.
Yeah.
But DRG is a monster in that matchup. Do you have a favorite match here?
Oh, I think SOS versus Trap is going to be the most fun for me.
Oh, really?
I mean, I like seeing SOS play so well. And
I feel like the most impactful is Bunny DRG, but honestly, when Rogue and Dark play ZVZ against each other, we have games that don't even look real.
That's true.
It
We
looks
have the
like a
most
couple
epic-
of kids playing like the weirdest strategies they can even come up with against each
Yeah,
other.
well, I think we'll probably have some pretty over-the-top ZVZs here.
We
I
might.
Would,
I
would
hope so.
definitely welcome some endgame ZVZ with those two for sure.
Yeah.
So we're going to
I'm
be back
strangely surprised, excited about that ZVZ.
on Monday, 6:30 p.m. KST, same time, same place as you normally join us. We're going to have Bunny versus DRG, and then SOS versus Trap. Two phenomenal best of fives. I look forward to that day very much so.
Yeah, and I do hope that Bunny can go on. But honestly, DRG going into a top 4, I love it. Like
Me too.
I want him to end up winning so that he breaks an ST's record. That would be amazing.
That's another cool little narrative we have here, that players as old as DRG in modern StarCraft 2 are actually still viable.
Yeah.
We're going to be in our 50s eventually. It's going to be like, that's so cool that a Zerg player in his 40s is still hanging on.
I know, yeah.
That's eventually going to come.
That's going to be
awesome. And then we're eventually going to be 90, and it'll be the 80-year-olds, you know. We'll be like, all right, well, now we've proven it. We've made the point you can play games and be good at it all the way up until you're dead. And then they'll open our coffins. You and I will nod at each other, and we'll lay on our backs. They'll close it and bury us, and we'll be done.
Yeah.
We'll
shoot us into
point.
the sun.
That's right. They'll shoot us into the sun where we belong. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. This was a fun cast. I think the games were great overall.
It was a great day. It
yeah.
was a great day. The last couple days have been insane. Like the whole round of 16 was pretty lit, fam. But Group C,
Look
I
at
think
this
was
boomer
amazing.
uses Zoomer talk here. Are these gamers cracked or what?
Oh, man. I thought cracked is like, oh, no, scuffed is the one that's like there's something wrong with it.
This is why they keep me here, man. This is why I'm here.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have, Artosis. I'll see you in the round of 8 along with you guys. Love you. Bye-bye.